And this game could still go either way.
Both players have both players have literally identical Joker lineups. The only difference is deck building. Super has more red seals on the card that he wants to play. So I think that lends towards him being the favorite here right now.
I hear maybe that the stream is dead.
Stream dead? No, I don't think so.
No?
Not for me, no. And you guys just need to refresh.
Over there? Looks like... it looks...
Stream looks fine for me. It's dead.
I believe it is.
Not for me.
Let's see if it... Refresh the page. 1 second.
Everybody should just refresh the page, because it's not dead for me.
We're back. Yeah.
Wonderful. Neither of these players on the idol just yet. Super not hitting the idol right here. Hitting a 7 of hearts instead. We'll have to see if Jake hits any of his heart cards.
His idol games are absolutely unchained.
Neither player hitting the idol yet. It's going to come down to this big blind. It's going to come down to what it ends up on after this big blind. A lot of suspense.
Yeah, always on the edge of your seat in a game like this. Not only as a viewer, but as a player.
Jake finally finds the dusk so we can become perfectly synced. He's got a lot of decisions to make. I think Jake knows they're both on 1 life. Does he want to gamble on the idol?
Oh, that's a very interesting thought.
But you could just go full Bloodstone power here. Dusk is better than an idol that does not hit. If Super hits his idol, it's no questions. Absolutely no questions. But
we know that it's not going to be the Jack.
It doesn't hit.
His last life.
Oh, wait, so he knows that he already got past the big blind?
He knows because he did the big blind already.
Yeah,
so I would sell that idol.
Both players selling the idol. No hesitance.
Oh my god.
No hesitance. No hesitance from Super. He knows. It's useless. It's completely dead weight.
Oh my god, this is gonna be crazy.
So now we've got to ask the question. Is a hanging Chad enough to get through the massive amount of red seal kings that Super has?
Yeah, no. Jake has certainly better jokers going into this.
If we had more time, that ancient joker would be crazy. But it does nothing right now. It does nothing because it's on diamonds. This is so sad. Super picking up the scary face, that could actually be quite a lot of power.
Yeah, but
smiley face.
my mind's on. Oh my god, it's so scary. Who could it be?
And we're going in.
Oh my god, I don't even know what to say.
It's just going to come down to the last hand for both players. Both players with Dusk now. Both players with almost the same amount of retrigger. The only difference now being the fact that Scary Face for Super Heidi are in favor of a Hanging Chad for Jake. That usually would make up the difference, but if Super is able to draw every single one of his Red Seal Kings, which he has 3 of, then he could take this pretty handily. Well, he's 2 right now. He's got 1
in total.
Yeah, 3 in total. He draws draws all of them. He has it.
He's pogging out.
He knows that's the hand. That's the hand he has to play. Just has to get rid of his other hand.
If Super wins this, we're not going to hear the end of it, by the way.
And now we have to copy the right jokers. I think you copy Bloodstone here. You've got more than 2 layers of retrigger.
But the scary face I don't think it really matters.
No, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's in hand played, so Scary Face always procs first before retrigger.
Goodness.
Will Super beat more than 40 million? It's all down to lucky. It's all down to luck. Yep.
Oh my god. Let this be a lesson that even if you are 200
baby!
MMR, you can overcome.
Yo, gang, I'm back. What's good? Holy shit. I'm actually sweating. Holy
lot of idle
shit.
gameplay. Just what the hell? That was an incredible game. That was an incredible game.
Today we saw Jake break.
Guys, two-time Velantra winner.
That means that you're a two-time Balatro winner now.
I might as well be
You
as good as it. You guys are looking at the MMR. You guys didn't know.
Basically.
That was crazy.
That's can you believe that he didn't see that brainstorm that you saw. He skipped past those two blinds.
He did?
So the first brainstorm that you saw? Yeah, he skipped because he had the idol the first time.
One later.
I knew he had the idol because I was like, there's no way he's got his his deck fixed that well that he's able to pop off in the 450 million range. I thought I had a banger build going to that boss blind. I thought that PvP blind would have been easy.
Bricks? Were you shitting bricks? What was going on?
Oh my god, dude, I'm shaking after that. I was like, Jake Balatro, he's pretty good at the game, and I'm like, I didn't think I was gonna be able to beat him. But
see, the thing is, Jake, while having
how did he lose then? Did he not hit his idol?
Yeah, he didn't. Both of you sold out of idol at the end.
Yeah, no, fair. I was so sad. If it landed on King of Hearts once, I would have won, like straight up.
Yeah, it was the same for Jake though. It was the same for Jake. He had the idol for longer, and he had about the same amount of deck fixing as you had. He had jacks instead of kings.
No, I disagree because Jake had more focus on the idol, and that's it. Whereas Super Hider had more red seals and some lucky cards going, and
you're absolutely right. Yeah,
probably a more reliable setup, even if idol didn't pop off.
Jake I think in terms of
kind
the
of
raw,
tried,
but the raw amount of cards,
if that idol wasn't gonna work, it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, the raw amount of cards, I believe you and him had the same amount of power cards, but you had more red seals on your kings. He only had, I think, the one red seal jack.
Oh, finding that Deja Vu was big. That Deja Vu was massive. As soon as I found that Deja Vu, and I already had a bunch. That's why I always kind of slowly revolve around to building heart builds. Because if that Bloodstone comes up, it's a total game changer. Did you see how when Bloodstone came in, I already had a ton of heart kings?
Yep. Yeah. It happened for both of you that way, I think. Both of you got those sun cards, and you were both playing towards the hearts. Keeping open to hearts is always the best idea, I think, folks. Folks, you want to focus on going towards hearts if you're playing towards flushes, just in general, because the Bloodstone's potential power is a lot higher than any of the other suit building cards.
Let's see. You guys have a look for another good match in the bracket, or if you want, you can follow me through to the next game. I don't really mind.
I think Scoped wants to trade in and out, so I will take my leave for right now.
Yeah, wonderful. We'll just have Molly and Scoped in here. 100%. Thank you, Rokel.
Yep.
Can we get a plug and chat for Rokel?
See you guys later.
Bye, Rokel.
Wonderful.
Alright, which game are we getting on?
Co-host.
Yo. So, guys, what do you want to do? Do you want to find someone else in the bracket there that looks like a good match, or just follow me through? Whichever one suits.
I'm gonna be right back.
No, we're just watching my game. We're on the Super Hider road. We're on the Super Hider road to glory. We'll see if I win. All right. Let me just do my bans real quick.
Let's see which game we got.
Hello.
Yo. How are you?
I am back. I barely caught the last ante of that game. Great job, Heidi.
I know.
Close game.
I was scared. I was on last life.
Yeah, saw you popping off on that third red seal pull.
No, seriously, that's what I needed. That was the one thing I needed to take me over the edge.
Absolutely. I do believe one less Bloodstone proc might have gone you over the edge, but of course, the more chances you have to proc it, the better.
Oh, 100%. You need to, because Bloodstone can be very fickle sometimes.
Yeah, it can be very mean depending on when you want it to proc, but overall, great job beating Jake. Quite the tough opponent, really, to get into the third round.
Okay, wait, sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry, let me just get the bracket back up. I just had to set something up real quick.
No worries. Molly is...
Ow.
Oh, never mind. Right as I say that she was muted. Any match that you want to see there, Molly, out of curiosity?
Any match?
Like in the bracket right now.
So we have finished our second round, and every match coming up is shown on the stream here, correct?
Yes,
Oh.
some third round matches have already gone underway. Do you see Jake beating Navi?
I'm just gonna check the bracket on my.
Yeah.
If you want, I'll just play my
my-
next round. I'll just play the next one since
You
I
can
kind of
play
already
your
have my
next
spin.
round.
And unless you guys want
Okay,
to swap to
we
a different one.
can-
Nightmare versus Boggle could be interesting. Wait, actually,
Oh,
Nightmare
no,
vs.
we gotta
Boggle
watch-
just finished.
oh,
Just
Oh,
finished.
okay.
I
I would love to
there's-
watch a Boggle or Nightmare game.
They just finished,
uh,
and I believe this is the first round tree match to finish. I believe.
I've seen a lot. Have you seen a lot of round 3 matches being finished on the?
I'm not
bracket,
sure.
actually?
Like, I am actually not looking. Nightmare lost. Boggle won.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Boggle
actually
won. Nightmare.
that's actually a pretty interesting. Another upset I'm seeing is Big Man actually beating Yummy in round 2. That I did not expect.
That's insane.
Yami lost round 1. I think Yami lost in the first game.
No, he won versus Bart Patas in round 1 and lost versus Big Man in round 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
Yami is.
I didn't look into the.
All good. But yeah, quite
Yami's a
the.
trans woman, I think.
Oh, whoops,
Yeah, round 2.
my mistake. But yeah, quite the upset. Regardless, we're seeing a lot of upsets this tournament actually, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely makes it a lot more interesting, I will say. But I'm down to keep it at Super High Tier's gameplay for now. Otherwise, maybe switching onto the Boggle game. Though I do believe Big Man and Harris are still in the middle of their match, so might not start immediately. So might best just keep it to High Tier for the time being.
All right, that's wonderful because I
Honestly,
actually have the stream set up
I wanna
now, so we can
see-
swap straight onto it.
Yeah,
Big
that's
Man and Harris
a
are just kind of
plus.
in the game. So yeah, we
That's
just
a
watch this right
plus.
now.
And also, I want to see if Super High Tier can keep up the momentum.
After that tough
I'm
game,
gonna put
might
the
as well.
pressure on you today.
Oh, don't do that, guys. I'm already I think I've already had a great game after beating Jake full stop. Like that's all I can
That's
say.
very
I'm just
fair.
gonna.
Yeah, but we need
I'm
to
just
see how far you
gonna-
can go now.
Oh, we're going to my best deck. We're going to a ghost deck. All right.
Ooh, interesting.
Can
Let's
some
go.
can you guys finish predictions? Who
Yeah.
won
Does
that
someone
game,
want
by
to
the way,
like
as
take
well?
control of predictions because I have kind of been get the stream working.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Who won last game? Did Kozak or Gamelays win?
Gamelays won.
Gamelays.
My mistake.
Gamelays won.
Gamelays won it already.
I guess we're gonna
He
open up a
also-
prediction. So
He
I'm
also
gonna
won his
start it
match
now.
against Pearl after. But yeah,
I can
we'll see.
hold a prediction actually.
You want to hold the prediction? You should do it. You should do it.
Right.
I
I
don't
can-
have to do it.
So
While we're setting this
yeah,
up,
I'm
you
gonna
guys
do
are getting 60-second ad break.
Yippee. But yeah, either way, a shame that Rockwell left right as Ghost Deck is being played again. I know.
I
he
know
really-
it's his favorite deck. I actually feel bad for not letting him see it, and I'm gonna be playing it
Yeah.
too.
Unfortunate, but unfortunately he was sacrificed to bring me along, which I guess I cannot complain about. But regardless,
Wait, who's your opponent once again? Let me see.
My opponent is there. I don't know. I couldn't find him on the leaderboard, but that's his Discord username.
Not on the leaderboard.
Ooh,
That
a
is-
total
that is
a total
interesting.
wild card. Interesting. Would you see on the bracket that Harris just won his game against Big Man? But yeah, let me check something here. Where are you, Heidier? Where are you, Heidier, on this? KH Marouge beat Ved in round 1, and that
Oh
is the
my
only
gosh,
match
it
he's
is
played.
Oh my god, no, guys! My opponent's getting a beer. I'm so cooked. He's
What?
nonchalant. He's a nonchalant beerhead.
Oh goodness.
No.
Guys, I need to crack out the
Super
Guinness. I need to crack out the Guinness to start
You
choking
need
him.
to crack out the Guinness right now.
Why?
Get fall into your Irish
All right,
heritage.
you better predict now. You better predict now.
Predictions are up,
Alright.
guys. You think I'm gonna keep going on a winning streak? Because after seeing the game against Jake, I don't mind if you put your money on me. Like, I don't mind. I think that's like a free investment. Oh, we're starting.
You
All right, bye, guys.
You gotta consider that both
All right.
players will probably be inebriated during the game, so it is interesting to keep in mind for this prediction. I'm
I've
exaggerating.
never done that before in my life.
I can't say I have either, but regardless, Ghost Deck actually, Molly, we've talked about it quite a bit with Rockle during the first few rounds, but what's your opinion on this deck in general? I'm curious to hear it.
I find Ghost Deck itself can be one of the decks that separate playstyle quite a bit. I mean, if your econ is stronger than your opponent, you're going to see a lot more spectral cards than what your opponent would generally see. I'm also looking at KH over here and really kind of struggling through this.
He was having a lot of trouble fighting that straight that allowed him to get it, but
You
Hydier bidding it in one round and just getting that photograph and immediately hexing it. We might just see the same. I would believe it was in the Buffoon pack. Though the lack of hands means that Hydier is going to get in the next round with a bit more interest. So having a small advantage in econ to start us off here for Hydier.
Yeah, in econ, especially important in Ghost deck, as I was talking about, because the more you reroll, the more spectral cards you're going to see opposed to your opponent, and some of those can come rather in handy.
Yeah, I'm thinking of course of any deja vu, any trances, any seals really that just boosts your immediate power or later power. But regardless, it'll be interesting to see how both players choose to spend their money here. We did see that Hydier got the voucher, and KH chooses to skip it. It's already quite the difference
Hydier
in
has
playstyle here.
10 cards in hand, thanks to that riffraff.
We have Boggle and Harris.
Oh yes, line that up for our next match, please.
Are we getting them? Okay, we're not getting them up stage.
I mean, we could.
I believe
we could.
If Hydier's in a game right now, don't he's able to switch them?
I don't think he's not. I don't think he's able to switch. So I think we just keep it.
Yeah, unfortunately,
keep it as it is, really.
Yeah.
Before you make a decision here, could it be possible that that game be sort of delayed until this one's over?
No.
I do not. I
don't think so.
Okay.
It's no. It's just like it's timing.
We'll see those top players soon.
Yeah. Ooh, foil to-do list.
some-
Interesting. We'll have to see. Riffraff also is one of those jokers that's definitely separates its uses separate a lot between players, especially with how willing you are to re-roll those common jokers until you get like the quote-unquote good ones. So you'll see some players selling them a lot. You'll see some other players try and stick with what they got, not expecting any of it to get better. We see Hydier and KH, actually, we see both of them just deciding not to roll those riffraffs. Interesting.
It's just sort of sitting there.
Really depends on the individual players, as we see KH going into the big blind already. Both players with quite a similar Joker setup without any
Not very good
sells.
Buffoon pack.
He does choose to sell both. He sells everything, actually, going for the riffraff play as we're talking about it. He chooses to sell everything as they go into the into the PvP blind. So Hydier's fate could very well be decided by this riffraff right here. But the deja vu.
How do you find that red seal? That deja vu?
I do not believe so. Interesting that he didn't choose to get it. Possibly because no, granted he has photographed. That's weird.
If
that was for correct?
Rouge has that deja vu and Hydier does not, that is a huge difference.
That's a big. I don't know if I'd call it a blunder. It was first round of the shop, correct? I'm not mistaken.
Well, I mean, the more rerolls you have, it depends.
Yeah, okay.
On what will show up first in the shop.
Yeah, no,
so it's possible that
you're correct.
Marouge,
rerolled a bit more, especially seeing as he had a bit less money beforehand, so it could be the case. Either way, with that photograph, that's a big pickup for Red Seal there.
Absolutely, in this early on. So really, it's not just one Red Seal. Each death card you find, I'm gonna predict we're gonna see a lot more of them coming up.
So I do believe that this round should go to Rouge here, seeing as that Red Seal photograph is probably better than any hand Hydier can conjure up at the moment.
Hydier's got a 4 of a kind. It's not nothing, but I don't know.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
but you do have 2 hands left if you're
I
KH.
really think that
And any hand with a face card here probably is enough to win there, but we'll have to see how that last draw goes. He goes for a 3 of a kind for the sake of getting the to-do list. Yeah, any hand wins here pretty much with the
oh yeah,
foil
no,
and
definitely.
with the foil and the polychrome. Any hand wins here that isn't a high card, and he gets
He
the straight.
really plays those straights. Like,
Yeah, I guess you don't see a lot of players go for those, especially in PvP, since they're a lot more inconsistent. But I guess Red just
yeah.
likes playing those. We did see that he struggled quite a bit in round 1 to go for them, so could be a downfall to keep an eye on. But we'll have to see how it goes. Not that great of a buffoon pack, I must admit. Castle can be pretty decent once you've deck built a bit, because it works in the same way that Mail and Rebate does, in the sense that it only goes after suits that you have in your deck, and it's proportional to those. But for now, as both players haven't really chosen a suit, it's not really as powerful as it could be if it lands on a card that isn't drawn as much in the next.
We got a Hearthstone. And we got a Cryptid.
We do get a Bloodstone. We do see a Cryptid. Ooh boy, and a
There's
Baron.
a Baron.
Oh my. The thing is,
these absolute pickups.
That is
And
that is so interesting.
believe the red seal that and Rouge got it. KH Marouge has both cards, and I believe the red seal was on a king.
Yeah, the red seal,
king,
the red
maybe.
seal, the red seal was on a king. Absolutely, I'm not sure which suit, but it was on a king. So
It was
getting
a diamond.
getting a lucky. Oh well, he chooses to use the lucky immediately. Interesting. I expected him to hold out for this red seal, but I suppose he just prefers to get the lucky cards on a gold seal, as to try and get more econ going.
I'd imagine that. Trying to maximize that to-do list right now, but also too knowing that you can hold that cryptid, steal that king.
There it is.
Yeah.
Really?
What?
That's.
It's right. Well, I guess it's a King of Hearts. I guess
King of Hearts. It's a King of Hearts.
You don't even have Baron. Marouge didn't pick up Baron. I'm an idiot.
Goodness. No, yeah, no. The red seal is definitely more. It would have been more of a blunder with Heidier's Joker setup, but in this spot, there's the Baron.
Oh my god.
There's the Baron. Yeah, you definitely feel a bit silly if you're Rouge here. But granted, in the moment, I can absolutely see it simply because it's a King of Hearts and not King of Diamonds.
But that red seal, though, you could just. Okay, whatever. We have different lives.
I do not. I say that it's an option that I could see, not necessarily that I do agree to it. But yeah, either way, Baron picked up from both sides. Hanging Chad actually being picked up by Heidier as well. But here is where you're gonna have a bit of trouble in the late game, simply because of the fact that you're gonna need to choose one of those sides. You're gonna have to choose either that Baron or that Bloodstone photograph Hanging Chad. Which I believe, granted, most you could still keep those on for the sake of having the Baron as a bonus mult in your hand. If you get enough deck fixing, it can definitely be done. But going more towards retriggers, going more towards in hand, can definitely be preferred. It's going to depend entirely on what future jokers and decisions those players make.
Yeah, these players certainly need to pick a lane here. And whoever does it first, and whoever does it right, will come out without a completely wrecked car.
Unfortunate 1 point for Red's going to be one less dollar. Quite unfortunate, but regardless, it is quite interesting to see. We do see Heidier, though, has kept his cryptid for now, waiting until possibly he gets a red seal or anything along those lines. And there it is, right as I say it. So probably gonna combo that red seal into the cryptid anytime soon. Ooh, the death. You feel bad. You'd want all 3 of these. And Hanging Chad appearing in Red's rotation. We're going to see what he sells for, possibly the Penny Pincher. And we see both players with the exact same Joker lineup.
It's just how it goes. I wonder if someday the meta is going to change and we're going to have more divergence in setup. I think that's kind of my hope.
It
To see
depends on
different
the.
builds, attack different builds, but I mean, this
Uh,
is just the most optimal play for now. The
yeah,
deja vu.
yeah.
Ah,
He's a few rerolls behind or ahead, depending on how you want to look at it. Seeing his econ, so the only thing I would say is that okay, he's gonna sell that hangman for that death here. We're absolutely gonna see red seal copy here on both sides. But regardless, I do believe that it's going to come down to either some more nerfs and buffs, or just the challenges that we've seen actually do. Some of them definitely do cater towards different builds. So just a matter of like possibly different formats of forcing players to adapt to the current one. And here we see the death and the red seal possibly being put onto that King of Hearts. Yes. Maybe going for a
that's the
five of
best
kind
card in the deck right now.
Absolutely. Consider we might see red seal. Sorry, five of kind build going towards them, but possibly just gonna play those hide cards for now, and that you have those 3 red seal kings. You can just play off them with the Baron and just get that early scoring that you need. Heidier is gonna have to catch up to that in his last hand, so quite a bit of a hurdle to go towards. That's the one thing, definitely with Baron high card builds, is that your consistent scoring is much better. So if you don't have a Dusk, if you don't have like one of those big hand makers, consistent scoring is gonna win a lot more often during those early boss blinds.
I feel like a lot of people get drunk on the whole Hearthstone wine. Once they get Hearthstone, they forget that maybe it's not always the best play all the time. And it seems like Super Hadier is coming to that conclusion that I can't just sit on the fence for the whole game.
He did sell
I'm
it.
gonna get stabbed.
Sold it really early, actually. Interesting that he chooses to sell it so early. One advantage that Hydeer has, though it's definitely going to come into play a bit later, is that he has picked up that hand size voucher. So for Baron, once you get those, once you get a bit more deck fixing,
Uh,
that definitely comes into play at least a little bit. So 1 or 2 more
he's
Baron
got his
pogs.
eye on that hand size voucher. He didn't purchase the next one up, if that's what you mean.
He picked up the first one in one of the first antes.
Yeah,
The very
yeah.
first one, but yeah, he is debating on that second one. For now, Rouge definitely a bit further ahead when it comes to just those red seals overall, but on Ghost deck that can definitely be caught up on depending on what players go for.
Okay. That is the best card so far for Super Hydier. No cryptid on that apparently. Trying to
Maybe
save that cryptid for steel cards,
that
maybe?
that's what I'm assuming. That seems like the play that he's going for. He just wants to get that get the best possible card available to copy before starting to copy it, which definitely not a thing that you'd see a lot of players be risking towards. I definitely would have used that cryptid for what it's worth, but it's
I
definitely
mean,
more
you're
of a play style.
constantly just blocking the possibility that another cryptid would show up.
Absolutely, it's an
Um,
option to consider in on Ghost deck. You can't really even on a regular deck, having a potential spectral card blocking that cryptid could definitely be a bit of a deterrent for a lot of players. But Hydra just want to make sure that he gets the best card available. But he has to make sure to not wait too long. He's already on 2 lives. He can't really afford to stall very much. And there it is, that second hand size voucher being picked up by Hydeer. So once again,
I
has the
feel like
advantage theoretically, but in terms of deck
there's
fixing,
been
Red's
some
definitely ahead.
dubious decisions by Super Hydier, in my opinion. Um,
Maybe the pressure of that first upset getting to him.
Dusk by KH Marouche, perhaps denoting a delineation here, going less so much for the high cards, but
Oh, he did use that
something a
cryptid as we
bit
see.
more.
He did use that cryptid actually on that best card in the deck, as we called it, choosing
Oh,
to
okay,
not save
gotcha.
for too long. And
That was a good call.
Not rewarded, unfortunately. And Onk could be
I would probably
interesting.
take that Immolate.
Immolate is a great option here, absolutely. He's thinking of doubling up on Baron here, I think is what's going on through his mind right now. Could definitely be interesting as we see Rouge, their Immolate going through. We see Rouge debating on selling that Baron. So both players definitely going for different things here. As the Dusk comes through, could definitely see Hydear making a similar decision, but no, chooses to keep that Baron, and now we see a definitive uh, shift between the two as that hanging chat pops up.
Oh my goodness. I step away for a sec. My brother comes through the door. What have I missed here? There's just
You've
been
missed.
a huge change.
You
Oh,
yeah,
and getting trading card? Oh, and it's
instead of the
still
Baron.
happening.
Instead of the Baron, a lot of different decisions happen in that shop.
Lucky cat!
Oh goodness! And now you're rewarded for retrigger.
No!
Chooses not to pick it. Interesting. Granted, you definitely have quite a bit of power
maybe
here
not a
already,
bad
but
idea to skip it.
yeah,
Just Lucky cat.
it's a personal favorite of mine as well. But consider you probably don't think that you have a lot of time to scale it up. Not to mention that you're missing lucky cards on some of your best cards. You don't have it a lot. You don't have it on your red seals, for example. They're all either molt or plus chips. So probably thinking that you just don't have what it takes to scale it for
It's
now.
fair.
Oh, and speaking of which, here comes that 5 of a kind for Kitsch though no hearts to speak of aside from that first one. So that you definitely don't have the suits right now that you need. And here we see Hydear's first big hand, that 5 of a kind without Bloodstone. That is probably the biggest difference between those two players. That one of them has Bloodstone, the other has, I believe, that is Zany Joker. So definitely pretty big difference there.
Yeah, if only Super Hydear kept it or got a magnet. I mean,
There it is.
probably Bloodstone is the Heartstone or whatever it is.
Bloodstone. He
Bloodstone gets
nice order from Rouge, losing on a $1, but it's fine. Regardless, I will say, since you weren't here for it, Hydear chose to sell that Bloodstone to go more towards like Baron plays and having the occasional retriggers. So that was before he saw the Dusk, and that was before he saw the Dusk. So definitely quite unfortunate in that case, but unfortunately can't win them all. But yeah, Rouge actually with that trading card, I will say, with him already having the winning as well, can have a lot of deck fixing going into that final boss blind. Gonna be pretty tough for Hydear to catch back up on.
There's just so many hearts and red seals and not a single bloodstone. And I would be mauling right now, personally.
Absolutely, but he does have Baron, which Rouge doesn't, and he gets past the 1 million mark first. So that Baron is still a lot of power here. So can't count out Hydear too much. And then hanging Chad, I feel bad. It's being thrown at his face again. Oh, but now you have a Red Seal King with
Hydear
Seal here.
Hydear just needs to. I don't know, man. Like,
it's tough.
If I were in his shoes, I would just try to get my my high card as high as I can. I think
that's pretty much the only thing you can do here. We're definitely seeing a battle between retriggers and high cards here. But the thing is, your flush bucket, another one. I feel bad. The thing is, you see, the only way you get past 1 million here is with
his
that flush
planets
5.
are trash.
That's one way to put it.
Oh, the magnet! The magnet! Oh,
it's too late. He needs something else. The hex is not going to be enough. Oh,
if he had that magnet in enough rounds, he would get Heartstone, Bloodstone, whatever.
Bloodstone,
Probably.
but it's fine. And Rouge actually getting more Red Seal on those hearts there, getting more power out of that bloodstone. You almost made me say heartstone there.
I
So
only have been calling it Hearthstone because someone had a mod that said Hearthstone,
no, fair enough.
and it was complicated. Let's just say.
Regardless, with Rouge having more of like a defined direction with those retriggers, I do believe it's going to be enough. I don't see how Hydeer wins this. The only way I see it is possibly if he gets a flush 5 or a 5 of a kind with like red steals in hand, and even then it's going to be tough. It might depend on Bloodstone procs. We'll have to see how it goes. Magnet, does he go for it actually? He chooses to sell the trading card for it just in case Hydeer
You always
gets the
go
win.
for Magnet. You always go for Magnet.
The funniest
Or
part
what
is
you
when
get.
Magnet. The funniest part is when Magnet copies Magnet, really.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, for now, Hydeer is gonna have to dig hard for those Red Seal Kings, just trying to get whatever he can. But he needs good enough base mult for that Baron to really pop off, and that's not what we're getting with this level 1 pair.
Yeah, he needs to play 3 of a kind because that's what his guy is all about. His
For now,
little zany guy.
For now, he chooses to play those pairs. But yeah, those because you gotta remember that hologram that's not holographic. No, it is holographic. This holographic triggers after all the Baron procs, and even no, I believe Zany triggers after as well, doesn't it? So it wouldn't matter for Baron anyway.
I need to really get versed on what comes first and what comes
I
after.
do believe Zany would come after Baron, so I don't think it would be enough. That anyway, you need a four of a kind is the bare minimum in order to
Are
get
you
anything out
sure
of that
it
Baron.
pops off before Baron? Because it is like to the left.
Well, we're gonna see now, but I do believe it triggers after. I do believe it triggers before Baron, but we're gonna see here anyway because I
Yeah,
do
that's
believe
what
he's
I'm
gonna play
saying.
that four of a kind.
It
As
should pop before Baron.
Rouge gets some more lucky cards on this. This is Hyder's last chance here with the Dusk. He definitely gets quite a few mult triggers, which might be what he needs. And here you see, yeah, Baron triggering after
No,
that.
Baron triggers first.
Yeah, and that
That's
means
so weird.
he gets 3 mil, and Rouge with only a 4 of a kind. Will it be enough? It will by 2 million.
Oh.
A 4-0 by Rouge here. That
Never dropping
Bloodstone.
Bloodstone again. Fuck me. Never doing a Baron build ever again. Fuck Baron. It's way too slow. Worst choker in the game.
Oh
I'm
my
just sticking with
god.
Bloodstone.
There it is. There it is.
I hate this game.
Well, if anything,
I'll be playing again like next week.
if anything, I will
annoying.
say
All right.
I called it, and that's what matters. Yeah. But yeah, regardless, quite the interesting showing. Selling that Bloodstone and immediately finding Hanging Chad and Dusk. Hanging Chad appearing 3 times, but we felt bad for you.
Dude,
Genuinely.
that was a horrible game. Like, especially I
Yeah.
couldn't find any Pluto cards. It was like every planet pack was so dog.
Yeah, I do remember Molly saying, and I quote, "His planets are so trash right now," which she definitely wasn't wrong in saying that.
Yeah, maybe I should have sold to-do list. It was kind of taking up space.
The zany Joker when you're playing pairs, just it broke my heart a little. And
Granted,
I don't know if I can ever put that back together.
No, I feel like as soon as I saw all the re-triggers appear, and I was like, yeah, this dude definitely is playing Bloodstone. I knew I was cooked.
Yeah.
The only thing I was praying was finding it again. If I found the Bloodstone again, I would have won. Hands
you were
down.
close. I will say you had better deck building. You had some steel going into that last blind here. Goodness. So yeah, it was definitely a closer game than I expected with all those re-triggers.
Holding Casp and Phantom right now, so for
Yeah,
you to watch.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Could be a good
Yeah.
Yeah, give me some of the links and I'll put them up.
We can switch to it
I'll
right away.
stay on commentary if y'all still want me.
Absolutely, I'm more than down to continue casting this with you. I don't believe any other casters are online anyway, and solo casting is going to murder me, so...
Let's take a look at the bracket!
I'll be back in 1.
Oh my glob. I cannot believe it, chat. I'm out. I bet Jake. That's all I care about, though.
All
I got
right.
Jake out of the tournament.
So let's, as you said, let's check out Devlin. Actually, after his first win against Virtualized that we saw earlier in the tournament, is going on a tear right now into quarterfinals already. Tone Block in quarters as well. Who nobody else on quarter? Oh, actually, Gamelay is actually on quarters as well. After beating I'm not reading that name in its entirety, but regardless,
Some names are long, and we do not read them.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. You want your name to get called out on stream, it has to be like something simple.
No,
2 syllables are minimum.
It's also because I'm not sure how it even go about pronouncing that name. But regardless, we're missing a few people into the semis here. Who did we say we had on standby, Lava?
We're getting Casp and Phantom.
Appreciate it. So yeah,
Wonderful.
it'll be a pretty interesting match to see. I do believe neither player having really a tough of a bracket so far from what I'm seeing, unless I'm sorely mistaken, in which case my apologies. So it'll be a pretty interesting match to see for who gets into quarterfinals here.
Okay,
So we
wonderful.
get
Phantom I go. Phantom is good. These 2 people are really good at the game, I will say.
Yeah, definitely really good players into this quarters. Then again, we're just by this point in the tournament, if you're not good, you're already out. It feels like we've seen a lot of upsets already, and by this point, it's only
that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Still shocked to see Yami out at like second round. That's still insane to me.
Yeah, no, that's. I need to. I'm still grieving.
The cast point.
So yeah, where do we know which deck those players are going to be playing on?
Let me see. Let's see.
Whenever we have a mod available, just wondering if we
I believe
could
yellow.
Yellow.
check
Yeah.
something in chat right now.
Go ahead as we wait for the round to start. But yeah, yellow deck. Once again, just pretty much the standard one, really. The one that most players are willing to go towards.
Is this round 4 or round 3?
This is round 4. This is round 4.
Wonderful.
This is round of 8s. I'm not sure. Goodness, my English is lacking goodness.
Aren't we
before
all?
quarterfinals, whatever round that is. Yeah, absolutely. But regardless, yeah, yellow deck pretty much anticipated the safest deck out there. Gets you a bit of interest at first. Gives you a bit more options during that first shot. Allows you to build up more interest quickly. Just some call it boring, some call it efficient. Depends on how boring your playstyle is. Anyway.
All right, prediction. All right, it's prediction time. Start a prediction. Who will win? Who will win? Outcome 1, Phantom, or outcome 2, Cass?
I will say either.
I get
2 minutes.
I could absolutely see it going either way here. It's definitely close.
You get 2 minutes. You can vote.
You have time to see the first ante, and if anyone grabs like blueprints right at the start, and the other doesn't see it, you can vote then. But regardless,
Gameways. What about Gameways? Voting on Cass with 1,500.
Oh goodness,
that's a big number.
Someone's confidence. But yeah, we'll have to just get Casp's stream online.
Yeah, Cass, he couldn't see his mouse, so he's just quickly restarting. So I'll be able to throw it up in a second.
All good. Either way, I doubt the match is going to start without both anyway.
I hope not.
But yeah, gonna be a really interesting match regardless. Both of these players, pretty well known for tournament results in general. If I'm not mistaken, so will be interesting to see how that goes. Any bets in the caster booth in terms of who might win this, who might edge it out?
I personally think Cass JB, he's got the edge. Cass JB, I know he's a sweat through and through. Like if I were to like look in the dictionary for sweat, I probably could find like a photo of Cass in there.
I mean, at this point in the tournament, if you're this far in, everyone's sweating. I'm pretty sure.
Zipfa, 4,500 points on Phantom.
Goodness.
You guys are
Countering.
betting big money. We're finally to the big money leagues. Everyone's spending all their Twitch points.
I mean, it is
Can we
quite
just
the
make
quite the high stakes
sure?
map. Regardless.
Can we make sure that Cass's screen gets it?
Yes, it will when it decides to send me as a link. All right,
Once
there we
again,
go.
we are at the mercy of these players when it comes to POVs, unfortunately.
Yep. Do not worry, because with the power of the magic finger, I have fixed it.
Perfect.
Yay.
It might be worthwhile to I do believe, was it Lava during the team tournament you had like an TXT with all the players and their Twitch's links. Might be worth sharing that.
I had this, but this is not how it's working here because we were streaming on Twitch.
Oh, okay,
And
those are different. Okay, my
yeah,
mistake. My mistake.
that's different. We're using
Alright,
it different. We're using better.
Alright, my mistake then. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But could be interesting to look into just for future cast if those links are consistent. I don't know if they are, but
No, they're not.
Starting up
I
here.
believe.
alright, my bad then. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
But regardless, yeah.
Alright, Scoped. It's you and me.
Let's get into this. Both players fishing for that first hand. Neither of them getting it, I believe.
No.
Yeah, both players going for this. Oh, actually,
it's Phantom. Phantom out the gate.
I'm barely edging it out. It is actually, it can mean just $1 more of interest depending on what you choose to go for. So it can be more than what you
It's
bargained
on
for.
yellow deck too, though.
Ooh, interesting.
So
Okay, both players going for hallucination, the early play that you want here, and Onyx Agate, that foil Onyx Agate. Yeah, absolutely, both players going for it. That's far from surprising. Hi dear.
Hi dear, you minimize your stream. Okay.
Thank you.
I honestly not picking up that seltzer. I feel like
we might
pick up that seltzer.
We might diverge on that, but I actually don't believe it's a bad play from Phantom because you get $1 more of interest. You get you don't have anything that really benefits from that seltzer yet. You don't get like you don't have lucky cards. You don't have anything along those lines that would really benefit from it. So I'd say I'm more than fine with Phantom leaving that behind because
You're right. You're right.
allow him to snowball a little bit when it comes to econ. It is minimal, but games at the highest level often come down to those very small decisions, especially at the start.
And those chips from that ice cream is probably going to be alright.
Yeah,
both players have the mod Phantom's calculator, and it appears to be the 2.0 version, which is legal. Another seltzer coming up, so a second chance to contemplate this decision.
This one might be more efficient here, simply because you're closer to the boss blind, and you have the Onyx Agate that actually triggers. Chooses not to. Interesting. Probably just wants to keep that interest money for the first few antes, going for a better late game build. Which
Phantom's probably going long term thinking here, and my sad little brain, my mid-level Balatro brain, can't even speak. I just like the re-triggers because that's what everyone tells me. But it's temporary. Seltzer
it is temporary. Absolutely.
Money, interest is also temporary.
But it is
unless
more,
you do it right.
The power it brings could very well be permanent depending on how you go about it. Shoot the Moon, interesting pickup there. Is a bit contradictory with the Onyx Agate, but we'll have to see what he chooses to go for. We'll see if Cass does open the Blueprint pack, going to see it as well, and choose to pick it. Both players really similar, and one reroll for the Blueprint. Sells the Shoot the Moon immediately for the Blueprint and the Faceless Joker, which I do agree with, simply because it's more econ, which you can copy with the Blueprint as well. Blueprint here actually has 3 different uses, and actually doesn't get the money from the Faceless Joker. Unfortunate, doesn't remember to switch that out.
Oh, both players.
Both players getting the Blueprint. Does Phantom sell that ice cream for the sake of that?
Faceless Joker.
Of that Faceless Joker, yes, thank you. I was blanking out there. But I will say one thing that a lot of mid-level players might not consider about Blueprint is just in how many situations it's useful, because some
Yeah.
people might say, yes, it copies your best joker, but it copies your best joker in the moment, and that joker can be different in a lot of
Faceless
different
can
cases.
be copied.
Yeah, that's just CastGP, unfortunately, forgetting to copy it, but he does see Sock and Buskin before Phantom can see it in the next reroll.
Oh, this is gonna be a difference maker for sure. I mean,
Absolutely.
Seltzer is nice, but if you have Sock and Buskin at home, you're going home.
Well, Cass has both, so he definitely wins that. Unless there's a huge blunder from Cass here. Not triggering, not copying that Seltzer or that Onyx Agate could perhaps be considered one, but regardless, he'll have more than enough to win that first one, I'm sure. A lot of small micro adjustments for that blueprint not being considered by Cass.
I mean,
Maybe
like
it's a
if you're
pressure of the tournaments, but
copying the Sock and Buskin, are you not just copying the Onyx Agate
and
by
no, because
default? It's
it only
re-triggering.
it's only copied it only copied one face card out of that flush, so it only copied one Onyx Agate out of that entire
Oh. Yeah, no, that's definitely not the move then. But it
in
looks like it doesn't
in
even really matter.
Yeah, in a later Flush 5 build, I absolutely understand, but yeah, it's small plays that could definitely make the difference, but for now, of course, you have the Sock and Buskin with the Onyx Agate, of course, you have just the Seltzer is probably the biggest difference maker here, picking up at the start guarantees him a free life here, but the one thing I want viewers to really consider here is the econ both players are going to go into the this next round. Cass has rolled down tremendously, only having $1 of interest compared to Fenton's 4, and he's going to lose, most likely, unless I'm not seeing something, but maybe copying that unexcited will be enough. Barely not enough,
No?
unfortunate, but regardless, he's going to have a lot more cash going into this next ante here, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Doesn't see
Moving the
the...
blueprint was a very good call. Great tarot cards to have.
Yeah. The thing is also you gotta consider that Cass does not have that hallucination yet, so that's a lot of bonus tarot cards that Phantom's gonna get for deck building.
I'm not sure if he's ever gonna get that hallucination.
No, he sold
I
it.
probably wouldn't.
He sold it for the Salk and Buskin, I believe. He wanted
Yeah.
max power with the Seltzer going into this boss line, which barely got him ahead, so fair play to him in that regard.
Honestly, I kind of miss the shoot the moon, especially with blueprint
It could have
or
been
anything else.
It could have been an interesting one. It kind of contradicts Onyx Agate, which I guess I could definitely
Yeah,
see.
but like he's copying for sun cards right now. Like, what's the plan here?
Possibly
Oh,
going for
he's preparing for
a Bloodstone, possibly.
Bloodstone.
That's like the one thing I could see here, but it is quite odd, I will say. Possibly just preparing for the quote unquote highest potential play with the blueprints and some levels and flushes already. It is quite interesting to see chooses to play that blue
I'm
seal.
mystified right now. He's got only one hand.
Yeah, both players making a really interesting choices right now. I don't want to say
I
poor
don't.
choices necessarily because we are not in these players'
Okay,
heads, but
this clears.
yeah, this clears. But it's you miss the blue seal power, you miss a lot of potential future power there.
I feel like the meta is shooting them in the foot right now. Bloodstone has been almost deified in multiplayer lately, and now it's starting to
He does get that
create some
flush.
victims.
He does get that flush with the with the sun card, so he will get through fine. But yeah, it's quite interesting to see that he's going for that Bloodstone play, even though he has Onyx Agate in his Joker lineup right now.
It's getting to the point. It's like you have to choose a suit. You get Hangman. Um, I mean, you got all those other ones, I suppose, but just hang on to that Hangman, I suppose.
That's probably what he's gonna do, possibly copying with death here. Ooh, never mind. Chooses
No?
to get rid of those clubs. Or at least he's debating on it. He does get rid of the clubs. We're probably gonna see him go for a full heart build here, possibly copying that ace of hearts to a jack of
Past
hearts.
JB doing some very good moves over here, trying to maximize the amount of face cards he's got. Enhanced queens, particularly plus mult enhancements. I forget what they're
You
called.
no, it is I am missing it right now.
Cass said that
It's
he
just
was
mult.
using Blueprint like a brainstorm.
It is just mult.
Oh
Oh,
my god, bestie.
that would explain it at the very least, but that is quite unfortunate. But it does explain the interesting Joker movements he's made since the start of the game. But yeah, Cass with that Sock and Buskin that Phantom did not spot, just having a lot more power right now with the Onyx Agate with those retriggers. So I do believe next boss blind should come to him fairly easily. I was praising Phantom on that just hallucination and getting him a lot more deck fixing, but it seems like some interesting deck making decisions might
Like,
hinder that quite a bit.
his deck is an absolute wreck right now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, he's
I have
calculating. He's not sure if that clears. That should tell you just
he's
how.
pretty worried right now.
Yeah, that should just tell you how
Yeah,
dire the situation is for Phantom after some really some interesting decisions to make as Cass is waiting for his rival at the boss blind.
I
Getting that
mean,
troop.
if Phantom wins this, it's the comeback of a century.
Absolutely. Though granted, we are only on the second PvP round, so there's definitely time to catch up here. Getting that Jupiter
Yeah.
definitely helps when it comes to those bigger hands here, getting those lucky jacks of hearts. But if you don't get the Bloodstone here, pretty much everything he's going for there is pretty much for naught. Sells that Earth. So yeah, we'll have to see right now what he's going for. Chooses that, yeah, getting that Onyx Agate flush here, but if Cass just gets a few face cards onto a big Onyx Agate, hand, it could just be curtains for Phantom for this round too.
It's just interesting that another one of these themed around a specific suit Jokers gets to shine for once.
Yeah, and
I just wish they shined more often, to be honest. Might
Cass
need
going
to
for
figure that out.
Cass going for it fully, and feeling confident visibly because he went for the Sock and Buskin copy to
Flush
copy that luck.
House.
Ooh, actually, you're correct. Flush House on the side of Phantom with all those hearts.
Oh, I don't know, man. These are pretty low scores.
It's very low scores on both sides as we see it's probably going to be 5 of a kind queen coming out of Cass right there.
I'm
Does
pretty happy with this.
does he choose to copy the agates? He does. Interesting. He chose to copy the
Super
Suck and
Cup.
Buskin with the lucky card simply to try and get one more lucky card trigger, possibly that money shot. So we do see quite the confidence coming out of Cass right now. After
Moving
that
the blueprint. Oh, the lucky cat.
lucky cat,
Oh gosh.
you do have quite a few. You do have some lucky face cards, but he does choose to skip it, which I believe is fair. You definitely have a pretty good Joker lineup. You have some Econ, you have
I
enough.
don't know. I would have, and this is my personal opinion, I would have sold the faceless Joker for the lucky cat. You're going to be doing some re-triggers here. You're gonna get some money from that. You're getting money from Penny Pincher by also copying your blueprint. You got 2 money jokers already. I know you're trying to re-roll and re-roll and re-roll, and that I guess is fair. Maybe he wants something better than Lucky Cat, and maybe it's out there.
I think also part of his decision is that he considered he didn't have enough.
Phantom picked up Lucky Cat. Oh, that could be
Ooh,
huge.
could be interesting. He does have quite a few lucky cards we did see that on all those hard face cards. So if he can get some levels and more levels and flushes, some lucky cards going, it could be enough to get through. Actually,
Photograph.
ooh, unfortunate 4 of a kind there. It definitely wins. Oh, actually, it might not. No, it does. Okay. He's calculating. He's making sure that he gets enough to win. Oh, actually, no.
Might be
It entirely
tricky
depends.
here.
It entirely depends on those lucky card triggers here. That's what the range on the calculation is for. So he's just going to sack it or like risk it
Oh, that's
rather.
what you want anyway.
And there's the flush 5, absolutely what you want here. He definitely wins off that. And he does get an heirs for it and double lucky card trigger as well. So Phantom, with his deck building, actually maybe going for a better build than Cass here.
Seltzer
Might
is
sell
just
Willy Joker. Might sell Willy Joker.
Seltzer's been here forever, man.
Definitely feels like it. Here, I feel like Seltzer also is good because you do have a lot of lucky cards, but every Seltzer retrigger is also potential lucky cat proc. So that is an
I
interesting thing
would
to consider.
personally sell that 3 of a kind Wily Joker, I think it was.
Yeah, Wily Joker
And
indeed.
yeah, that's a good call.
Good. An interesting decision as well is that Cass picked up a photograph that I believe Phantom did not see. Oh, there it is. So another decision to make. Because you have to sell one of
Yeah.
those econ jokers if you want to go for it. But the difference is that Cass has Onyx Agate, so he has a way to up his molt in hand and then get the most of it with the photograph with like a face card at the end of your hand. So
I
that
believe
photograph is that
Phantom.
photograph's going to be more efficient with that, but having flush 5s is going to be more than enough to get the most out of the photograph as well.
I believe Phantom is really picking it up here. Super Hider, can you just make sure your stream remains? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Appreciate it. So yeah, he does also the fact that he has that seltzer as well means that it is still retriggered one more time, even without that suck and buskin. So he does get quite a bit of value out of it as well. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the flush 5 he wants. Might try and
Oh, you could just try retriggering from that ace a bit.
or
Oh,
just
that's also just a
yeah.
really good decision.
Yeah. Now that makes sense. That makes sense. He was probably debating on getting like another more like less useful card for it, but just getting that lucky jack of hearts is his lucky cat. I believe already at is that 1.75?
It is.
Right.
It is a little
Still,
hard to see sometimes, that's for
yeah.
sure.
Still a bit of a blueprint micro missing here, like not copying that penny pincher at the start of next shop. So gotta remember, yeah, he realized it as he
Yeah,
did it.
he's mad.
But yeah, just a blueprints micro is that's possibly one of the only quote unquote micro things about high level play in this game. But blueprint micro matters a whole lot. Cryptid on
that
that
jack.
Jack of Hearts is big. Immolate is also
Oh,
really
I would
good here.
Oh,
He is going for that Immolate.
get some money.
I do see the play here. I do see the play. You want to get
I
more
do.
cash.
I
You want
do.
to get more spending power. But it is at the cost of one of those Jack of Hearts. But I do believe you have enough for it
It was
not to
worth
matter
it.
too much anyway.
It's totally worth it.
We're gonna have to see how this goes here. He does still have the Seltzer in play. We gotta remember, this is possibly the one thing that's gonna allow Phantom to stay in that boss blind here. Copying that Seltzer to make sure that he gets as many lucky card procs as possible for the lucky cat. Really great play from him. Yeah, we're just gonna have to see how it goes. Really, quite tough to
I'm
tell.
just looking at Cass here and Phantom and just like trying to see like who's got the better build at the moment. And honestly, if I were to choose, I would choose to have Phantom's build.
Yeah, I would agree so far. As long as the Seltzer is still alive, especially if he can get a flush 5 on the board, chooses to get rid of one of those blue seals, and unfortunately, getting that last Jack right as he does. But better be safe than sorry is what most people would say here. Ooh, actually, Yeah, no, he wants to play it as safe as possible, just digging down a little bit for one more lucky jack,
Let's
which does
go.
fall. So both
call.
players with that flush 5, I do believe that yeah, Phantom just making sure he's calculating what the best scores can be here. Potential 1 million here if he does get the lucky card procs. I do believe this score might be better, depending on... Yeah, this score is definitely better because Seltzer procs more lucky cards. You can also consider that it gets more lucky cat procs as well, possibly. So it is
Love
one
it.
more thing to consider. He does, yeah,
Oh,
3
it's
lucky
so
cat procs.
beautiful.
There it is. And Phantom getting that Eris as well, that's big. Those blue seals have been a huge help for Phantom just overall, getting that flush 5 leveled up. As much as we were saying that, granted, you could have done the same with the clubs, but thankfully that suit change not hindering him too much. The rest of his deck building has been on point so far, I will say. Choosing to sell that seltzer for that certificate, maybe wanting to get a few red seals, and there's a red seal actually, but will take a
Pass is
while.
really, really hesitating in shop right now, by the way.
Yeah,
Going for Scary Face
yeah, going for Scary Face
instead of the Agate.
which I believe is fair once you get let me try again. Once you get Photograph already with some copies here, Chips is really the one thing you're missing. So I can absolutely see why he'd go for it, but Phantom with that Lucky Cat might just have more staying power in the long run. He chooses to sell that certificate immediately. He does get 1 red seal, but it's on a queen, which is quite unfortunate. Not exactly the one that you want right now.
Phantom had certificate?
Yeah, Phantom
That makes
has
sense.
certificates. He got 1 lucky, no, not 1 lucky, 1 red seal,
When
club queen, I believe, and then chose to sell it immediately, realizing that it might hinder him
I feel
in
that.
that regard.
I mean, you're adding cards that you would have ideally immolated out, for one
Absolutely.
thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's nice that he has that Fool. I wonder if he's going to copy the planet, or if he's going to try to use it for a death card going forward.
I do believe both are definitely valuable choices here. That blueprint on the penny pincher helps a lot when it comes to econ. Oh, my bad. Definitely helps a lot when it comes to econ. Chooses to get the hack. Definitely not the correct build for it, but he looks at that red seal ace that he has and thinks maybe, just maybe,
Well,
he can get something out of it, especially
oh,
with that
I
sun.
see.
Yeah, getting a strength and a sun on it would be great with that red seal.
We're thinking in some centuries kind of thing here.
Oh, absolutely, but it is still interesting to note that the option is there if he does want to go down that route. It is the only retrigger he has.
Yeah, and retriggering last PvP was definitely very handy.
Copies that
Just imagining if you could strengthen that queen, or however many is required.
well, it would be, I believe, 13 strengths required for it, or something along those lines. So definitely not worth it.
13 strengths?
12 or
I
13,
mean,
something along those lines.
but
For that
like
queen,
queen.
for that queen to become a jack.
No. I'm talking. He's got hack. If he keeps
Oh, for
hack,
that. Oh,
he
okay,
could
okay.
go
Yeah.
queen, king,
Okay,
ace,
my mistake.
2.
My mistake. I thought you meant for it to go back all the way to a jack. My bad.
No.
Staying safe with those calculations. That low roll is not enough to clear. That makes it
Got a
really
hanging chat and shot coming up.
that
I
hanging
feel
chat.
like that's gonna replace hack in an instant for
Oh, absolutely.
Phantom.
Both Phantom's low rolls not being enough to clear. There it is. That four of a kind going to be enough to clear. But yeah, he has so many levels in flush 5s right now that he has neglected his flushes. So those small flushes are not enough to get through. Mail-in rebate also to consider instead of penny pincher. Hack might go for that mail-in rebate first before he spots that hanging chat if it is there.
Yeah, I mean that hack is if he keeps that hack, I consider that GG. There's just no way to build that in time.
There it is. He chooses the mail-in rebate, and maybe in a few rerolls he gets that Eris.
I'm just looking at Cass's shop, and I'm bewildered at what we see here.
Yeah, that Ancient Joker and Order. Pretty much. The one thing is
No,
that
the family. The family.
family. My bad. Yeah, the four of a kind molt. Either way, some would call it a great flush 5 build, but it is a bit of a. It is quite interesting to see. He does pick up
Damn.
Ancient Joker instead of Photograph, which, seeing as he has Sock and Buskin, I can definitely see.
Oh, and it's on clubs.
It is on clubs as well.
Oh, that's gonna be a good time for Kaz. How many lives does Phantom have? It's a bit cut off.
3. He has
because,
3. They're both at 3.
Yeah.
Okay, and here we go into next boss blind. Both players with the really different Joker setup. So that Ancient Joker is definitely going to be quite the powerhouse if you can get that set up. Copying the mail-in rebate
Nope.
already for some good
Phantom's at
cash.
2 lives.
Oh, my mistake. Okay, Oh, right, this is the 4th boss blind. My mistake. I miscounted. But yeah, Phantom could be very well be on his last legs going into the next boss blind here. So will be interesting to see both players setting up their flush 5s.
Cass is about to scare Phantom.
Oh,
Going for the queens now.
yeah, we're going for the queen simply because of that red steel queen. That's probably the one reason why he's going for it, and
That's interesting.
getting another strength on the board. So yeah, he is going for both players going
Oh,
for queens actually for flush 5 queens.
it's just funny. The meta of this game is just flush 5s, Hearthstones. Like, we're doing standard rule set because it's a very competitive field, but
I definitely wouldn't call the game solved per se, but there's definitely a dominant strategy going on here. And with that
yeah,
Ancient Joker cast, speaking of dominant strategies, getting 276 million with all of those re-triggers of Ancient Jokers, that's nowhere near enough for Phantom to clear. I believe he barely gets into the 1 million. Yeah, they barely get into
there's
the
no
1 million
chance for
range.
him.
Absolutely. His one chance is that he does get more econ out of those lucky cards, but the fact that you have both Ancient Jokers and a retrigger for Cass, the one thing that could seal the deal is if Cass somehow doesn't get clubs every boss blind, but that's pretty much the only way they lose this.
I mean, Cass has 3 lives. It's gonna hit clubs sometime. I honestly don't see a way in which
It would definitely be
Phantom
quite
can come
unfortunate.
back.
He needs retriggers right away. He needs something at the very least. Mime, he's looking for an interesting spot there.
I will say, like, I know I was kind of almost complaining, like, oh, it's the same game each time. It is far from that.
Oh, absolutely.
Every decision creates a different path, and you never know what these players are going to do. They're not robots.
Yeah, we did see at the start of the game plenty of somewhat questionable decisions, as we like to talk about. But yeah, either way, both of these players just getting they have the same hand type, but they're going about it in a very different ways.
I just think that if anything, we're going to see more and more exciting things as the scene grows and competitives become more formalized, and just, I don't know, it's going to be an exciting time.
Oh, absolutely. Is for now, Cass just trying to get some more, trying just to gauge what his scores are possibly for the next boss blind, digging for more luckies and more rebates, which you need all the cash you can get. You want to go for the kill shot here if you're Cass.
I mean, the mime here is not doing that much work, I'll be honest.
It is more gold value, and that's about it, really. But getting those flush 5s is definitely a good start, but you need Sock. You need something here if you're
You
Phantom.
absolutely do. Even Dusk would do.
Dusk would definitely be a gigantic pickup here, but the thing is, even with how much that Lucky Cat has been fed over the course of a game, it's still not more than 10 Ancient Joker triggers in an entire Flush 5. 12 actually, counting the Hanging Chat as well.
Absolutely.
So here, you pretty much need the Bloodstone. You need to get what you've been playing for this entire time.
That is so true. Phantom is one thing, and mainly one thing only, and that is Bloodstone.
That is the one
And
thing he's been playing towards, and it hasn't been given to him so far. He does get another son, funnily enough, but yeah,
I
it's
think he
going to
just
be...
needs to roll and roll and roll till he finds something.
Burglar, he's debating on it. Hanging Chad, that is good with Photograph, but
It's
that is
better
good with
than
Hanging.
nothing, that's for sure.
Getting a Fool as well, but yeah, he's probably going to sell that Hallucination exactly. It's going... are they... Yeah, they're both on big blind, so yeah, they are going...
Okay, there is time.
That is one retriggers. That is at least a one. But will it be enough? That is the bigger question
I'm
here.
noticing that Cass went into the big blind with clubs. Could have skipped it and won.
Oh my, you're right.
Yeah,
So
that might be a blunder.
that is quite the
We're
big
going
mistake.
into boss blind with a heart.
So Phantom should get at least one more ante to scale up here. That could be really scary.
That could be dangerous.
Forgot to copy the Penny Pincher again. That is a lot of cash that you're missing out on at this stage in the game with Cass having that mail-in rebate. Photograph popping up once again could possibly go for that Photograph instead of mail-in rebate to try and correct that blunder. He's debating on it, and he's rolling down below his interest cap. So if you're Phantom here, you're probably still rolling down quite a bit. Baron, you're playing towards Queens, my friend. Unfortunately, you have not deck built
You
for
don't
that,
have
but
the planet support, bestie.
that is
You don't.
definitely... He's debating on it, but that is most definitely a skip in most cases.
He would have to.
He does sell the Penny Pincher.
No way!
He does sell the
He's
Penny
gonna
Pincher.
have to change so.
No, you gotta remember, he is on his last life, and in his mind, he's gonna have to fight what's 46 billion, more than
He's
that.
got $0.
Yeah, but
Oh, he doesn't even know.
yeah, no, he
Oh,
can't.
he could have survived.
That is unfortunate. He
He
will most
sold
likely
Mime earlier too.
survive. The difference is that he's going to have nothing going into the next blind, but you can't expect Phantom to think that Cass
Is
would
he gonna
blunder like
survive? He's only got like queens, doesn't he?
that. I mean, it doesn't make that much difference, but I do believe he has a stronger base setup without Ancient Joker in play. Because if you're Cat, you only have retriggers. You don't have anything that gives you molt compared to Phantom's
That's
Photograph and
true.
Lucky
That's
Cat. So you
true.
definitely survive if you're Phantom here.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Phantom definitely lives this. You are definitely feeling bad if you're Cast just letting your opponent live for one more life. But granted, also you got to consider, you're saying, oh, he has nothing, but you got to consider that with those lucky cards, you can
Oh,
definitely get back up to the
he's got
interest
a
cap.
Pluto there. What's his Pluto at? 3.
Something
Okay.
along those lines.
You could maybe do this. I mean, you're taking down Cass with 3 lives. But,
Oh,
I mean,
actually,
it's just one Idol Pop or Ancient Joker
yeah,
Pop away.
Cass getting one spade flush, or I believe, was it spade flush? It was one flush either way, but unfortunately, it's nowhere near enough simply because you don't have enough face cards to trigger with Sock and Buskin. And here, Fenton should absolutely demolish that score. Yeah, 2 million, more than enough.
Absolutely.
So, what would he be digging for here is the question. I don't believe he's
It'd
digging for
probably be
much.
a planet or some money.
I don't think he has either right now. He will definitely devil that king, I am expecting. Before that, simply because of that Baron, that just be the correct play here. Oh, chooses
He
to do that
doesn't.
to the 6 instead. Interesting. Okay. Either way, but yeah, deviling that. having more than
I
enough.
I have to say, Cass through. I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely. No,
Cass
would have.
had that in the bag. If Cass doesn't skip these next two blinds because it's on clubs right now, I'm going to go over there.
Well, we'll have to see. But yeah, you're giving your opponent one opportunity to win there. Definitely not what you want to see. Sells
Taking
that
out the Baron.
for the
Good
business
call.
card. I agree there. You definitely need that econ going into the rest of this game here. For whatever is left of it, we're gonna have to see if Cass chooses to skip this or wants to risk once again.
What
Seeing
is
this,
Cass JB gonna do? He's thinking about it. He's doing the
there it
best
is.
play.
There it is.
He's okay. Oh, we
Okay.
don't know. We don't know.
Molly is without an aneurysm for today as those double skips happen. So he is going to be on clubs going into that boss blind, which is absolutely what you need here. He doesn't get shoves, but he has more than enough to beat whatever Phantom's best hand was. Loyalty card is good here, but is it? I mean, it's better than business card, obviously. You're watching your best hand and you're seeing that it's way lower than your rivals. He is going to skip it. He needs better and he knows it.
Yeah, that's true.
So at this point, you might as well just copy the econ. You might as well just copy the econ here. Try and get more cash to dig for more. Here, you'd want a bloodstone. You'd want sock. You'd want really any of those would be more than enough to get at least make it a
A
competitive.
dusk.
Dusk also is an option, really.
Yeah. Just anything that's gonna re-trigger those cards. I mean, you got Hanging Chad, and it's doing something for you, but ultimately, you're trying to get your Lucky Cat to pop even more. So the times mult on that goes up, and
It's at
you get
575.
money
But
from each lucky card. It re-triggers from with photograph. There's just no downsides to getting every downside if you don't.
I'm surprised to not see him copy the business card there. I was kind of expecting them to just get more money, but
Yeah,
he does choose to copy the hanging chat, possibly for more lucky card triggers, which is also a pretty valid option. Depends on what you're aiming
I'd
for.
honestly don't disagree with that.
Polychrome Race Fist, that's not going to be nearly enough. He's digging for everything he can right now. He got 2 Erises, which is definitely pretty good, but that's nowhere near enough. He needs to roll down once again. Pluto, unfortunately, that Pluto being in the Fool there definitely hurts instead of that Eris. Buying the Devil, and that's nowhere gonna be enough
And that's why
power.
we would have bought loyalty card.
I do,
Just in case.
I do see Phantom's play here, getting more econ to dig for more later. It's high
Well, it
risk,
didn't
high
work, did
reward.
it?
It didn't, but granted, I do see
I
his
think
plan.
Phantom knows he's cooked.
Cass also has bought the voucher for hand size as well, so gets more mill and rebate value, gets more everything value really.
I
And
mean, Cass has it all. He's got
he
12 cards in his hand.
he does not have the flush 5 in his hand yet, but it should be within those next pretty much 5 rolls.
How the heck did he get 12 cards in his hand?
I believe he did buy both hand size vouchers, if I'm not mistaken.
It gets you to 12?
I
That's
believe so.
insane.
I believe so,
I
yeah.
thought it. Wow.
And there's the Ancient Joker. There
It's
it is.
plus 2 cards each time. Wow.
It is popping.
That
And
is a good
220,
number.
220 million.
We wub it. I think Phantom does not have. Oh my god, the judgment. Oh my god.
No. It would
What
have been.
if?
He needs to go for it again.
Dude,
He needs to go for it again.
dude, you gotta do it again. It's your only chance. What if you get Bloodstone, bestie?
He gets 4 of a kind. That's nowhere near.
We gotta know. We gotta know. The
Yeah,
people
that's
gotta know what that judgment would be if you popped it. Come on.
if it's
You're
gotta be
not gonna get the $4.
It's gonna be Bloodstone here. Come on.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
E7.
pretty
That's nowhere
okay.
near enough.
Oh, it's not
Yeah.
enough. It's not enough.
Yeah, no. The one option here is selling Golden Joker for Judgment, and he's going for it. Okay.
He's going to. Yeah, let's
If it's
see.
Bloodstone,
Oh,
no.
it's hallucination.
That's
Goddamn.
That's GG's. Cass is going to move on to semifinals here. Really,
Oh my god.
that Ancient Joker, even though we've had a small blunder in the previous ante, it wasn't going to last for long. Cass choosing that double skip and being rewarded for it. Congrats to Cass for this win. Quite the tough game for both players overall.
That was cuckoo bananas.
And congrats to
Loved
all
it.
those that voted for Cass in the chat. Heidgear is definitely going to be cheering about his correct bet in like 5 seconds.
Alright, Cass wins. Am I hearing this right?
Yes.
Oh, wait. I mean, I'm good to stay on commentary, but also no pressure.
I did see in the chat that Rokal and Heidgear wanted to co-cast next game.
Yeah,
Which
All
is
right,
fair
that's
enough.
perfect. I think that's great.
Yeah, it gives our voices a bit of time to rest. We'll be in great hands with them regardless. So, great job to Cass for getting into quarterfinals, not semifinals. Soon, but not right away. Hello, Rokal, once again.
Hello.
Good luck, you two. Good luck, everyone.
We
Just
are
a moment.
getting Casp and Vagabond. This is the
Yeah,
only
that's the
game
game we're
that
gonna
is-
watch. We're gonna go watch a
That
cast
is
beat
the
Vagabond.
the
that is
only
a great game to
game.
cast. I will keep an eye on the cast. I will be there in case you guys need me for later. Have fun casting this quarters-finals. Goodness, I'm gonna make it.
Of course, thank you very
Anyway,
much.
later.
Alright, are you
Alright.
ready? Are you ready for this? We're about to see a peak game.
I am absolutely ready. This is Vagabond versus who?
Cast GB. So
Alright.
it's a pretty high stakes game if I do say so. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be able to,
Orange
I'm gonna be able to
obelisk.
get the stream up quite quickly because people actually send me their links beforehand. It's amazing
Oh,
when
that's
people learn to
fantastic.
do that. And is this the
So these
semis?
two. I believe this
This is round 5.
Round
Round
5.
five.
Ooh.
Quarters, I believe. This is quarters, I believe.
Yes,
Real.
quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals. I'll just put round 5 for now. It doesn't matter.
The winner of this match goes on to fight Harris in the bracket. Number 11 on the ladder currently.
What's Vagabond's MMR right now?
Vagabond is at rank 16 right now. Cass is at 33. Not a whole wide margin between the two. They're both in the mid to high 500 MMR range.
What would it be exactly? I'm just gonna type it down.
Vagabond's is 584.
Yep.
And Cass is just whenever you're ready. 521.
521. Oh, he's gone down. That's a shame.
Well, it happens. He's still got a 90% win rate, so
It better higher than mine anyway. Slightly.
Only slightly, yeah. Yeah, only slightly.
Only a tad bit, guys. Come on.
Only 50%. Yeah, anyway.
There we go. Stream is all set up. We are good to just commentate. There we go.
All right.
Now, I am telling you right now, I love watching Vagabond games for the fact that he's actually horrible at the game. Like,
That's true.
people don't
That's
notice. But well, I'm lying. I can't even lie about it. Bro he's pretty good at the game. He's stomped his way through the brackets so far. No real issue because he's been streaming this himself, and while we were in those fewer games, I checked in on his stream to see how he was going, and he was winning each and every game quite comfortably, always being able to find a specific build that worked with him, never being really put into any stress here. So let's see if Cast JB is going to be able to give him a challenge, because we saw
Exactly.
was pretty good. He convincingly bet Phantom last game.
And Phantom's no slouch either. Phantom is a top player in his own right. I believe Phantom's actually ranked higher than both these guys, I think, right?
Just a little bit. Just a smidge.
No. Phantom's ranked 19, so Vagabond is one above him on the leaderboard. Leaderboard, take it or leave it, doesn't matter super a lot, But if I had to say who was going to win this game, I think it's a really difficult choice to make. Both these players are very familiar with each other. Both of them were on the same team during the team tournament. And the Orange Obelisks have been the longest standing team. They have great chemistry with each other. They know each other's play styles incredibly, incredibly well. So you could pick either one of these players for your favorite, and I think you'd have a pretty good shot of either of them winning. My money's on Cass, JB, because I think he knows how to counter Vagabond a little bit better than Vagabond knows how to play Cass. I think Vagabond might be feeling like he's under the gun a little bit here. He's been forced to play a lot of crazy games.
That is a pretty smart pick. I'm still going to go with Vagabond, though. I think Vagabond, over the past couple weeks, has been putting in way more hours than Cass JB, and I think his level and his game has gone up a whole lot that I don't think Cass is going to be able to recognize. I don't think he's going to even be recognized Vagabond as the same player because he's been spending so much time into it. So I'm going to put my prediction on Vagabond to win here, just because I feel like, just getting hours into the game, especially the multiplayer, every update, it's slightly different. And things slightly adjust, but this is the good old bread and butter re-trigger type of meta we love to see, especially if we want to see big numbers on the screen. And, I'm all here for it. And Vagabond, my friend, knows how to put the big numbers up on the screen.
He does enjoy re-trigger quite a bit. Both of these players are very familiar with playing re-trigger blinds. We'll have to see if Vagabond's able to pull the Vagabond out. I know he does love playing with it, and he's really kind of an expert at playing with Vagabonds. We saw some really good demonstration of how to play and handle Vagabond earlier in the tournament while we were watching Dev. Very, very powerful early game Joker if you can find it, especially for deck fixing. Even late game, it can be a powerful tool if the only thing you're lacking is deck fixing.
Oh, 100%.
I'm really curious. I'm really curious to see what these players agreed to play, what deck they agreed to play. I'm going to predict here, and tell me if it's a shocker, that we're going with yellow deck. But I'd be very happy if we see literally anything else.
Well, I don't want to say you're right just yet, because we haven't picked a deck just yet. Cass still has to pick from one of Vagabond's free choices, which are red, blue, and yellow. But we're gonna be seeing a bit of basic gaming.
If there's anything I can say about the entire Orange Obelisks teams, it's that they love the primary colors. They love them so much. They love playing on red, blue, and yellow only, exclusively. They wound me so much because I love seeing the ghost deck, but just not going to see it right now. Maybe in finals.
And the deck is?
Yeah, the deck is.
Deck is? Oh gosh. This is so it's not very Cass is choosing. It's
a critical decision. The early game play between all three of those is incredibly different. Incredibly different.
Yellow. It is yellow.
What did I say, folks? It's a regular tournament. No special tricks or whistles. We're going yellow all the way to the top, baby.
Oh gosh. Did he just... Oh gosh. So sorry, but like... My Spotify is refusing to work, so...
Life without music is pain, so I understand.
I'm frustrated about it.
Getting on the way here momentarily. The early game for yellow deck is probably the most important time in the entire deck. What you do with that extra $10 defines a lot of your run. Let's see how both players handle it. I'm predicting a lot of digging from both players, not early on, but in the second ante. Maybe we'll see some crazy Joker play. Both of these players, I won't imagine they would go for a rare tag skip. And especially on yellow deck, you're not going to see the interest tag. So we're probably just going to see good fundamental early gameplay, and hopefully we'll get to the second ante where things start to mix up. And we're off. Economy tag skip. Almost. Well, that is something you might want to think about only on yellow deck. For any other deck other than that, it's interesting. And it's a double economy tag skip. That's certainly enticing, but I think both these players value seeing the shop a lot more than other.
Oh, 100%. So we've gone into the small blind. Let's see what happens. I'm very interested. My pizza came, so that's why I left for a second. And I got found on text.
Uh-oh.
My mother ended up taking half my pizza, and now I was a very hungry boy, and I was like, I wanted to eat the pizza, but you know, I'm feeling nice today. I'll let her have half the pizza.
She did birth you. She deserves it. Anyway, Cass was able to clear that first blind with a high-powered flush. Vagabond not able to reach it. He'll be going into this first shop with a little bit less money, and Cass, having that $20 from the shop, nothing good in that first shop, opts to take the economy tag skip. That doubles his money going into this boss blind. He's going to be rolling in it during Ante 2.
Oh, 100%. Money here, especially early game, is going to do so much. You're going to be able to see jokers early in the shop when your opponent might actually have a bad economy, because it's more often that at the beginning of the game, your opponent's going to have a bad economy. So if you're able to get money as soon as possible and you're going to be able to roll down deep in these shops, you're nearly all the time going to find something else your opponent isn't going to find.
Misprint tech. And this is early divergence from both players' planning set. Vagabond opting to play out this big blind instead of taking that economy tag. I don't know if you saw, Super. This first ante had 2 economy tag skips, so the players could have opted to double skip.
What?
To completely double
on yellow deck?
On yellow deck, yeah. Well, the yellow deck's the only one you might want to do for the economy tag. Since that's the tag double. Ooh, what's going on?
Vagabond's in the shop. Vagabond's in the shop. You know what Vagabond is? He always picks up a Vagabond. That's like, he stays true to his name. If he finds a Vagabond, he knows. Cass should be looking at it like, I kind of have to. I'm playing against Vagabond. I gotta pick a Vagabond.
Cass knows that Vagabond's going to see this. I think the only thing we might have to worry about is whether or not Vagabond will have enough money to get that in the shop. However, I don't think that's a real concern, considering the fact that Vagabond's going to go into this second ante with at least $10 probably. He finds a Hanging Chad and a Chaos the Clown that Cass did not see. This is no possibility for Cass to have seen because he did not go to the shop.
Let's see if he rolls down far enough. He might not be able to find it. He might be too broke.
If he takes this crystal ball, it's definitely going to be risky. I think he'll be able to sell at least one joke. A Let's Go Gambling on the field for Cass early here. Everybody, I think, knows my opinion on Let's Go Gambling. I think it's one of the strongest PvP-based jokers in the entire game. A 1 in 4 chance to generate 4 times Molt and give you $10 anytime you play a hand is monumental just for the econ alone.
Oh, seriously. Like, people really underestimate it because it's not guaranteed. But it does add up because you're able to farm your hands down to 1 hand left, have your like perfect final hand, and just be able to use the rest of your hands to farm for that maybe 10 in gold, and that's going to come in handy. The extra money always does.
A lot of people are very worried about the backfire chance, giving your opponent $5. I would never be worried about that, especially if it's found from the shop, considering the fact that if your opponent picks it up, they've got an equal chance to give it to you, and more importantly, the expected value to get out of that gambling machine is more than double for you than it is for your opponent. Cass finding another Hermit, really rolling in the dough. A foil burnt joker in the shop for Cass. A lot of decisions to make. And Vagabond rolls prematurely into that Vagabond. He knows he has to sell it. He knows he has to sell here. And I think I personally would have sold the Scary Face, kept the Chaos the Clown. I think he was just in a bit of a futz trying to get that.
I also think he does need some scoring to get him past these blinds, because Vagabond, it's going to be safe, it's going to be good, but he needs something to really let him farm his Vagabond and then win the round. And that's okay, he can play every other card going up until the final hand, and then he can just play his face cards and win the blind easily. Being able to like min-max that Vagabond.
More divergence between the two players. Vagabond took the Vagabond, expectedly. Cass JB, no Vagabond on the board, just going for the straight capital gameplay, acquiring a lot of money very quickly. Death and Hermit on the board, 2 tarot cards you don't want to leave hanging. Looks like Vagabond's going to be playing towards Queens. We saw Cass earlier in the shop in that Arcana pack making quite a few Kings of Clubs. That could be a very strong angle to play going into this boss line. If he's able to draw a 5 of a kind or a flush 5, that could be very, very, very powerful.
Oh, especially this early into the PvP. This is still only the second ante, so these guys are really quick with their deck fixing, being able to go like min-max from having nothing to being able to play a flush 5 in less than 2 antes, which is crazy work.
I think somewhat of an underspoken part of Vagabond's build right now, Vagabond was able to grab that crystal ball voucher from the first shop. Cass did not grab that. Vagabond also grabbing the Vagabond itself. There is an unlikely synergy you might not notice if you don't think about the chance of drawing cards too often. Since you're allowed to hold 3 consumables in your slots instead of just 2, your chances of acquiring whatever tarot card you want to see goes up drastically. You're eliminating 2 tarot cards instead of just 1 from the draw pool every time you use that Vagabond.
Exactly, and another very handy thing you can have is, especially we saw him with Vagabond, he was able to use an Emperor when he already had the Devil card in hand. And with that extra consumable space he has, he's able to just, you know, fair enough, be able to use an Emperor without having to sell his other tarot card for maximum value.
Exactly. Anytime he's looking for tarot cards, it's more weighted in his favor. We see a death from the shop. It looks like we're building towards the Queen of Diamonds for Vagabond, like I said, and the King of Clubs for Cass JB. Try and keep a running tally of how many queens Vagabond has versus how many kings Cass has here, because that's going to be the real difference maker between their power later on. Vagabond's leaving himself open for a Shoot the Moon play, potentially. Cass playing far more heavily towards a Trib from an Arcana pack possibility. Well, I suppose the queens also play towards the Trib. Playing far more heavily towards a Baron if possible. I don't think either of these players will go towards a Baron. I anticipate us moving towards a Retrigger, especially with a Hanging Shad from Vagabond and the Scary Face.
I will be honest, Baron is an amazing card, but it takes too long. It takes too long to be able to get those high scores when like a simpler retrigger build in hand could probably do it for you easier. There's way more cards that retrigger your played cards than there is that retrigger in your hand. Like the only way you can make Baron better is if you find a mime, and if you don't find a mime, you're kind of screwed. There's not a lot you can really do about it.
Cass's all-in potential here was 8,000. That's the score to beat for Vagabond. Can he do it? With a 5 of a kind draw for the queens, it's very possible, given the fact that he's got the hollow Wily Joker, and he draws it. We're going to see some enhancements coming out on these queens. Will he make them into Hearts cards? That could be a play towards Bloodstone. I think he will. Yeah.
I mean, why not? You might as well start fixing your deck whenever possible. That's what Vagabond lets you do. You're kind of just able to play these cards on the fly.
And a Hungman, getting more deck fixing in. This is the power of that early Vagabond. The difference between the amount of cards in both these players' decks right now, Vagabond with 48 cards, Cass with 52 still on the board. Deck fixing has happened for both these players, but Vagabond is far away in the lead for actually drawing useful hands. Cass missing on the ×4 multiplier and the $10 from that Let's Go Gambling. So I'm getting proven wrong right here, right now for a little bit, but I think we're going to see those stocks go up if he plays more hands. I noticed he wasn't playing a whole lot of hands. You have to get your hand ratio.
If you have like Let's Go Gambling, you kind of got to be farming those hands. Like you got to put them to use.
Exactly. Both these players should be grabbing Grabber from the voucher slot as early 100%. As they possibly can. Vagabond does not have the capital to do that right now, but Cass needs to do that to farm more eco from that Let's Go Gambling. If you don't do that, Let's Go Gambling is a useless slot on your bench.
Like at that point, you really are gambling, and not the good type. Like you're letting the house win.
Egg has some interesting synergy with Vagabond. Egg does beat out interest every single round, and it increases your temperance value. Vagabond, you don't want to have actual liquid capital on hand. You want to hold potential value. Since you're getting all those tarot cards, your likelihood of getting a temperance card is pretty high, especially when you've got the crystal ball voucher like Vagabond does.
Oh, seriously. Like, not even Egg. Another card you wouldn't be looking for if you're playing Vagabond is Gift Card. Just anything that like increases the sell value of your jokers is going to be massive, because you're going to be able to find temperance really often with this Vagabond. And if you're just going to able to rinse the cycle, not only will you be able to get a lot of money with Vagabond, you'll also be able to get a lot of deck facing. And it's just
Vagabond
as
not
simple as
using
that.
his not using his brain here a little bit, accidentally sells over the Vagabond limits, so he's getting one less tarot card than expected here. That could be big. That could be big. Every single tarot card you get with Vagabond is a difference maker,
Oh,
especially
there it
when
is.
your
There's the
opponent doesn't have it.
temperance.
See
Came a
the
bit too
temperance,
early, but any money is
quite high.
some money.
25. Look, $13 is still a very respectable payout from that temperance.
Yeah, and
So
you
pick
don't have
up
to
the
worry.
grabber.
You have to rely on Hermit for that. That's just 13 free money.
Exactly, and the cap is higher on the temperance than the hermit. Something to keep in mind is that Stone Joker really wants to make an appearance. It seems. See, Cass opting probably towards that acrobat. That's a very powerful PvP Joker. But business card, if you pick up any retrigger, can generate quite a lot of money, especially with the grabber voucher in hand.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking for Cast JB, right? Picking business card would have been the probably more consistent option. Because it doesn't seem like he's fully using Let's Go Gambling to the best of its potential. He has this extra hand now, but is he gonna farm down to the last one and try to get as much money off as possible? Or is he gonna like send this hand too early?
That's definitely a very important consideration for Cass to make here. I think Cass wants to get an early win in a PvP blind on the board, but he knows that Vagabond's probably seen about the same amount of the shop that he's seen here. He didn't seem like he was scoring too high, so it doesn't seem like he's got that big of an eco lead. He probably wants to reclaim the life tie so that he's not put under so much pressure. Another play would be to go for an intentional loss here to get a giant boost to your economy because you get the double loss bonus. You get more. You get $4 times 2, so $8 just for losing. That would be more money than Vagabond would get for a single win.
Oh, you're 100% right about that. I 100% thinking here. You can tell the two differences between these players, right? Vagabond's Joker lineup has barely changed. He's still only relying on the scary face for scoring. He's gonna sell the egg, and never mind.
Both
Maybe
these
he's
players.
going for scoring now, going for acrobat. He wants to win this next round. He really wants to put Cast JB on the back foot.
I know that both of these players value Acrobat quite a lot, and since that was in a Buffoon pack, I think both these players know that the other player saw it and has it as a potential card in their hand. If you do not take an Acrobat and your opponent has that, that is just a ×3 gap that you have to meet some other way with your opponent. And if you find that ×3 meet, like within the, if you find something to meet that ×3 within the shop, you know that your opponent also has a pretty good likelihood to have seen it as well.
Yeah, and what are
You
you
don't
thinking
want to
now?
get behind.
I've got a question for you. Do you think selling egg for Vagabond there was the right play?
I think if you're in it to win this PvP blind, yes. If you are playing towards the long game and you're okay with just eating a loss, then no, there's no point. And also, I think some decision making towards winning this boss blind for Vagabond went into the fact that he lost a life on one of those rounds. So we're tied in lives right now. I don't think Cass knows. I don't think Cass has checked the lobby info recently, but that could make losing this boss bind a little bit more tempting or a little bit more anxiety inducing. I think if you had those 4 lives, you'd feel like taking a loss here is okay,
100%,
especially
yeah.
if you see that the score isn't too high from Cass's side.
I 100% agree with you there. Just for the fact that Vagabond, maybe if he had all 4 of his lives going into this, he probably would have kept egg and then just probably lost a life here. And being able to probably just get his money up and his funny up in the next ante.
Seeing even more deck fixing, a little tracking on the deck fixing for both players. Vagabond has 44 cards in his deck. Meanwhile, Cass still sitting at the regular 52. Vagabond has a flush 5 on the board here. New hand type to unlock. He has 1 level on that 5 of a kind right now. I think he's hoping that this flush 5 scores more than 30,000. Do you think this flush 5 scores more than 30,000 with the acrobat boost plus the no scary face for Vagabond, so no high chips roll? That's something to keep in mind here.
I probably don't think it is. I don't think it's enough unless he's able to get that flower pot active.
Yeah, if I think so. He's got 4 wild queens here. Does that activate flower pot? Do you know? I'm not sure how that interaction
might
happens.
actually,
if it does, then he totally wins. He totally wins here if that's the case. Yes.
Oh, those wild cards come in
that,
handy.
88,000 divided by 3. I think still 88. So without that flower pot activation, he would have barely lost.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. So Flower Pot coming in clutch, and these are the type of jokers no one uses. No one uses Flower Pot because it's like, what do you mean I have 4 different suits? And that's like 4 suits too many. And it's like,
traditionally,
good people are able to, and it's really nice to see people using these more obscure, like, multiplayer jokers that we don't normally see, just to be able to edge over and win a game with it.
Exactly. And I think a lot of times in standard Balatro play, you do not see the Flower Pot coming out because so many boss blinds stop you from being able to take advantage of it. In PvP, you don't have to be concerned about boss blinds.
I'm gonna be honest though, Cast JB's lineup looking kind of stagnated right now. I'm not seeing any big or major changes. I think he should have sold the Let's Go Gambling a while ago, probably looked up for a more efficient Joker, because he's not really... is he using it? Well, he's on his last life now. He's farming it. He's farming it now. He just hasn't got very lucky with it. But he does have way more money than Vagabond.
A whole lot of luck. Hasn't gotten a whole lot of luck, but he's just holding more money in general. I think he's gotten 2 $10 procs, which is less likely than the average here. It's 1 in 4 chance. You play 5 hands per round. That's one $10 shot, about 1.25 $10 shot every round if we're taking a look at consistency.
No, I think the big difference here... Oh, yeah, Scope, go for it.
No worries. I just want to point out for the cast real quick that for Flower Pot, a wild card does count as any suit, but only one suit. So you do need 3 wild cards in addition to your diamond to proc that in a flush 5.
Yeah, that's what I thought it worked. Because like each wild card takes the position of 1 suit, and you gotta have at least 4 of them.
So you're saying that if all of those cards were wild cards, though, it would not have procced?
No, it would have procced. It would have.
It would have procced? Okay.
It's just that in addition to any diamond card, you would need 3 additional wild cards for a flush 5 to count for Flower Pot.
Awesome.
You don't need like a single wild card.
Yeah, good. But as I was saying here, looking at Vagabond, I'm liking his deck, but his scoring card needs to be high. But look at this, he's got so many wild queens. If maybe an ancient Joker shows up, this might be lights out for Cast JB.
Absolutely, Vagabond's deck is built far more towards.
Oh yes,
the ancient.
Take
Joker.
that back.
Scary Face.
Vagabond refinding Scary Face. That's huge. That's gonna be able
to
a
lot better than Wily Joker. A lot better than Wily Joker. Oh, but a Penny Pincher. That's an interesting econ Joker. I don't think he values it simply because he's already got a lot of deck fixing and a lot of money potential just from the tarot cards.
Oh, 100%. And I will admit, Penny Pinch is a really good Vagabond combo because it doesn't give you the money till after the round starts and you go into the shop. So it completely lets you play your round with Vagabond and then be able to get money afterwards. Like, it's a really, really good strat if you're looking for a few extra rerolls in the shop or maybe be able to pick up 1 or 2 booster packs.
We've been focusing very heavy on Vagabond's deck and his deck building. Let's take a look at Cass's Joker lineup right here. We didn't mention it when it came online earlier, but Cass has a photograph and now a smiley face plus the scary face combo. That's a lot of molt just for the first face card played. And right now he's kind of going stealth mode on his true power. He finds any retrigger, his score's doubling.
That's true, and that's why I'm kind of scared for Cass JB because he wasn't able to find that Hanging Chad. I mean, the Hanging Chad the Vagabond has now. It's good, don't get me wrong, but it's not really helping him out too much. It's more or less just taking space. Vagabond can get rid of that and replace with any sort of scoring Joker. And it'd probably be doing more work than Hanging Chad is right now. But never mind, we're going to need Magicians online. Extra retriggers means, you know, maybe extra money, but that's something Vagabond maybe doesn't even really want. He's going to just have to save it to his last hand.
Doesn't want to proc it during any hand before his last one. So he really only wants to get lucky at the very end of the night.
Don't we all?
Isn't that the... I know, Stockin' Buskin on Cass's screen, a very deep reroll in the shop. The likelihood that Vagabond sees that is low.
He's never going to see that. He's never, ever going to see that. And that's what happens when you play Vagabond. Your deck is going to be in a way better area, but your Jokers are going to be lacking. It's a good trade-off. It completely changes the way. What do you think's more important, tarot cards or Jokers?
It's really, really a gamble because deck fixing maketh the man, but you need something to actually have the deck fixing matter, you know?
Yeah. And not saying Vagabond's Joker lineup is bad or anything. It's just like it's not crazy yet. So we're still waiting to find that one like puzzle piece that really just brings it to completion. But we have a solid like lineup here, solid foundation. If we find that Bloodstone, this could potentially be over.
Yep. A lot of support here already. If Vagabond is able to get a Bloodstone, to get retrigger, to get a photograph, this could be a very, very powerful build. Catch JB online right now with a decent build.
Oh, that is a very, very good build for where we are at. That Stock and Buskin fight was huge. That was the one piece Cast JB needed to really bring up his score to the next level. And personally, I don't think Vagabond, even though his deck is really good right now, I don't think it's going to be able to really be able to handle Cast JB's amount of scaling. He's getting off that photograph, Stock and Buskin, and then on the final hand with Acrobat plus the Smiley Face and Scary Face, giving him chips and base mode. I mean, I like Vagabond's deck building, but Cast JB has a way better scoring hand objectively.
Exactly. Right now, the times molt, if you're keeping track, on the last hand for Cast JB, if he plays a face card at the front, is going to be ×4 from the photograph plus Sock and Buskin, and ×3 to that. That's ×12. Vagabond only has ×3, which is ×9 total. Vagabond just has less molt scoring than Cast does.
Oh, but sometimes that's just the way it is. But Vagabond is going to be looking good going into these later rounds. I suppose that's why it's really good to get an early life advantage with Vagabond. You're able to spend more time farming. And eventually, once Vagabond feels like his deck is good enough, he's just going to be able to completely pivot off Vagabond. He's probably like achieved all he wants to do as long as he is able to get consistently his best hand.
I think Vagabond needs to be really careful here. He only is able to activate that flower pot if he draws 3 wild queens, which he does. So I guess he doesn't have to worry anymore.
He's here deciding between maybe using the Empress Queen over the Lucky Queen, or maybe the Hierophant one. He's wondering which one would best improve his score.
He's wondering about chips. I think at the moment, probably Empress gives him more because it's multiplicative on the last hand.
Unfortunately, he's going to risk it with the Lucky card instead. He's going to try to get that extra molt.
Cass making 2 steel cards right on the end here. Unfortunately, put the second one on a king. So he's only going to be able to multiply this last score by 1.5 times. But from the 12 times multiplier that Acrobatic plus the face card gives, wow, that's a ×16. No, ×18 multiplier.
But let's look at Vagabond here. He's building up steel cards. He's getting quite a few of them. It might be enough. Smiley Face is still big enough, and don't forget he's getting summary triggers off the Hanging Chad.
Yes, yeah. If we're 3 steel cards absolutely clears just the times molt that Cast JB had. That's 9 times 1.5 times 1.5 times 1.5. 1.5 to the 2 is 2.25 times, which is already enough to beat the ×18 that Cass had earlier.
Let's just see if the Scary Face chips add a lot. No, the Scary Face chips.
Yes, it does.
Oh my god, what?
Just barely, so close.
Oh, there's a blueprint in the shop. There's a blueprint in the shop straight after.
Wow, copying that interacts with Vagabond, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. Vagabond's gonna be able to farm twice as much tarot cards. I see you get rid of Acrobat.
I think you get rid of Smiley. You get rid of Smiley Face here.
Yeah, maybe it is the molt.
Since you don't have a full hand re-trigger, Smiley Face is only giving you 5 times 5 plus 10, so that's 35 molt total. Quite a bit of molt. But you can make that up with Lucky Card procs, or you can make that up with Empress.
I suppose that's what we're going for now. We're probably going to look to find like a proper re-trigger. Maybe the Sock and Buskin that Cast JB has. If Vagabond had that right now, he'd be said. But unfortunately, he doesn't.
He still needs something to actually use those re-triggers. That's the issue. Cass has the photograph. Vagabond, no photograph in sight right now.
Yeah, I'd say his best bet is probably just getting those Lucky Card, and then on the very last hand, trying to get as much money as possible to roll down in the next shop.
Exactly. An assessment right here at what I see to be the mid game of our chances of winning. If you put your stocks on Cass because I said something, I'm so sorry. I think it's looking kind of grim.
Yeah, but like, let's be honest here. Cass should be. I'd kind of feel cheated out of that round. Not gonna lie. I mean, that's just the power of the deck. I mean, Vagabond's Jokers are nowhere near as strong as Cast JB's are. Or, like, if you were to take a screenshot right now of this screen and tell us who's winning without showing the lives, you more than likely say Cast JB with the build. But,
we just saw something incredibly interesting happen from that Buffoon pack. That Buffoon pack had the Tarot Fortune Teller Joker and it was the Defensive Joker, which Vagabond gets no use of right now.
He will in the
Fortune
future,
Teller
though.
Joker for Vagabond.
It will start scaling
Fortune-
pretty quickly with Vagabond.
Well, it's already scaled well. It's at 55 molt right now.
What?
Exactly. That might be enough alone
Well-
to outscore Cass here, since he hasn't changed his build composition.
My question is the mult gonna pop before the triggers? Before, like, the multipliers? It should.
Yes,
'Cause
it
it's on the
does,
left
because
side.
it's on the left. It's on the left, and it is post-hand played trigger. We're not dealing with in-hand retrigger like Cass has to. Retrigger is no longer the focus for Vagabond, since Vagabond is generating 2 tarot cards per round. If he just uses those, that's 2 scaling every hand he plays. That is 10 molt every single time he plays around. 10
I
molt.
will admit, this is an absolutely crazy amount of just luck for Vagabond being able to find Fortune Teller. I mean, Fortune Teller is a card most people normally sleep on, and here it is with the Vagabond combo. You know, really breathing a bit of different life into these jokers that rarely ever get used.
It is a lot of power in this exact situation. This is the best example of a fortune teller use case you are ever going to see.
Oh, 100%. And look at this. We're actually printing money with these tarot cards. Like, just look at it. Oh, my lord.
Printing power. Printing power. This is really...
I've got 10 million
really
power Rise of
special.
Kingdoms. A hand. Oh, wait. And he's got the gold
What's the
cards as
scatter?
well for extra money once the hand's over. I mean, like,
Exactly.
this is
This
truly
is
a flush 5 of all
very
time.
wild. Exactly. And this one, just
And
a sneak
another
peek
one.
of what he's going to be scoring. That's without optimal blueprint placement, too.
Yeah, that's we're farming right now. We're content
Straight up.
farming.
Straight up.
All
Oh my
right, let's
gosh.
have a little look. I would be tempted to pick up the discard here.
But he's going to lose... Vagabond loses a life to the timer.
No.
I don't think he's particularly worried. Also, this is the Vagabond special. If you ever want to know one thing about Vagabond, it's that he plays slower than any goddamn person on the planet.
Yeah, we call him Vagaslow for short.
It's true. It's true. No APM on this gamer, but he doesn't even care. He's just farming right now, straight up.
Yeah, timer does take a life. I mean, you get the time, and unfortunately enough, Vagabond is just a time-consuming card to play, so you kind of have to be quick at it. Because you're going to be doing so many minute adjustments to your deck, you're going to be doing so much deck fixing, it's obviously going to take longer than your opponent, whose only real game plan is fish for face cards and then play them.
Another thing to note about the timer taking a life as opposed to losing a life to a blind, if you lose a life from the timer, you do not get the money. You do not get the $4. You do not get the scaling $4 reward. So Vagabond has lost out on $8 effectively because he lost that life.
Oh, for
Might
real.
not make a difference in this game, but something to keep in mind during your ranked ladder games.
That def is huge though for Vagabond. Vagabond is going to be very happy with that, especially having a full... Did he not? He did. I'm tweaking. Oh, never mind. He's got a Hangman and a Sun. I mean, like, why not? His like build is so ready for the Bloodstone to just slot in. It's not even funny. Like that flower, the Acrobat would go instantly, and then or Flower Pot probably.
1.5 to the power of 5, but it's only potential, so it's 1.5 to the power of 10. I don't know. Vagabond here might value consistency because the Bloodstone only procs on the molt of the hand played. It wouldn't proc off of that Fortune Teller.
Yeah,
and the
so
Fortune
you're probably
Teller
forced to
is
get rid of it.
giving a lot. The Fortune Teller is giving a lot of power here based off of that ×9 from the Flower Pot and the Acrobat alone. If you throw the blueprint onto the Acrobat or the Flower Pot, that goes from being ×9 to ×27 off of the 55 molt. You don't even need to scale the planet card hand anymore.
Jeez, this is just a crazy amount of time he's taking. Oh my lord!
Exactly. It's always like this, dude. Seeing another death use, opting not to fix the deck any further. Quick update on the deck fixing situation. It's gotten completely out of hands, folks. Vagabond with 38 cards compared to Cass's 52. Vagabond is able to make his best scoring hand no matter what, all the time. Something we didn't talk about before we got into this boss blind is that one potential way for Cass to beat out Vagabond in point scoring is to draw all of his steel cards on his most powerful hand and have them in hand while that's proccing.
Yeah,
Vagabond,
making a
most
start
of his
on it.
power, most of his power is coming from that Fortune Teller. Fortune Teller does not get benefited by steel cards, since steel cards play right after the hand is played and before jokers in the joker slot get to play.
Yeah, just look at all these heart cards from Vagabond. He's really picked up. Even if he finds an idol, there's a high chance of it landing on the specific card he wants, the Queen of Hearts.
Oh yeah, I think Vagabond's gonna go for multiple good hands played this round. He's putting the blueprint on that flower pot.
100%. I mean, like, that's what Vagabond allows you to do. It lets you create so many good cards, so many good hands. You're able to play multiple of your best hand per turn.
Exactly. He's got the ability to play multiple flower pot hands per round. This is a really interesting game. We never get to see flower pot used to its fullest extent. The early Vagabond from Vagabond that Cass had no chance of seeing really differentiated this game.
Oh, I think Vagabond might be able to take this. I think this is
absolutely.
This is a score Vagabond is 100% able to take advantage of. Cass JB not scoring as much as I thought he would. If I was Cass JB here, I probably would have said blueprint the sock and buskin.
As of right now, it does not matter. It would have been the same point scoring either way. So copying the photo or copying the sock and buskins results in the same amount of power scale.
Was he not playing Lucky cards though?
I don't think he was. I don't think he might have only had one. If that's the case, then yes, it does matter.
I didn't see what he had in his final hand there, but that's a score that I thought would have been a little bit higher. I'm a little bit disappointed with that score from Cass JB.
Vagabond is absolutely going to be able to clear this.
Oh lord!
Oh my
in that game,
goodness.
Vagabond clutches it. That means he's going to be moving on to the semi-finals. Cass JB, he knows what was going to happen. He saw that Vagabond early on in the shop, and he was like, I'm not going to take it, but I know Vagabond is.
No. Vagabond won, right?
Yes, Vagabond just won that match in a pretty compelling manner too.
Yeah,
Slow and steady wins the race.
Very slow,
all I have to say.
Very steady. But that's Vagabond. That's a different type of like set of jokers you never see used. It wasn't a retrigger build, guys. How does it feel? We didn't see a retrigger today.
Oh, not seeing a retrigger, it's somewhat refreshing, I gotta say, especially when you see eclectic jokers like Fortune Teller, like Flowerpot get to see the spotlight. That really amplifies just how different PvP is from the regular Balatro gameplay. This build on regular Balatro, it might get you to anti-A, it might clear that, but you're not going with it. It's not fun. PvP, very different game.
Oh, super duper different. But that's why we're here. This is why we're enjoying it. We're enjoying the gameplay. And now let us bring it over to the wonderful
Vagabond.
Screen. Oh, Vagabond.
Yo, what's up?
Hey,
what's up, guys?
Vagabond.
Bro, apparently Cats trolled. They said they trolled. What happened in that last PvP that
He
they
played a steal by accident, lost life.
I think so. But I don't think they trolled too hard. I think they didn't copy Sock and Buskin. They copied Photo, and I think they played. We'll hear it from that. That's.
I threw so hard.
How so?
I threw so hard.
Fill us in on how.
Well, I mean, I think at least one PvP blind I could have won if I played the right hand. I accidentally played a steel cards.
You're absolutely right. If you didn't make that steel card, if you didn't make that King of Steel card instead, you would have won that blind, I think.
And I think the blind before, if I'd played it just slightly differently, I also could have won. But
maybe the difference between you two's score is only about 7,000.
I would have won if I actually used Acrobat, because I forgot to use Acrobat.
Oh,
bro! I actually forgot to use Acrobat as well in a normal blind, and it cost me the. But like, bro, oh my god, I can't believe Fortune Teller was in my final lineup. Like, how do you guys feel? How do you feel about that selling hanging Chad for the Fortune Teller?
Oh, we were totally here for that. Fortune Teller was absolutely he was like roided up, bro. He was power tripping.
Absolutely, it's strong carry with plus 70 flat multiplied.
We're gonna have to start doing drug tests on these jokers, because that doesn't seem like a normal amount of molt one joker should have. It seems like it should maybe share with the rest of us.
True.
Can you guys score? You guys are the only
match left. The next game.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Hurry up, bro. Vaga's slow.
Sorry.
You lost a life and you didn't even care.
Dude, literally, no. I was talking on my my stream, I was like, you know what? I'm trying to beat this timer. I realized about halfway through the small blind, I was like, Cass is at 1 life. Like, I don't care about losing my life here. I just need to play this blind optimally and win one time in this final PvP here, and I'll be chilling. So I just didn't care about losing the life. And also, I was like, if he has defensive Joker, it's
Vagabond
tactical.
and Harris.
All right, we'll just continue watching Vagabond. Let's go.
All right.
Get
All right,
back out
who
the
do you
chip.
want to cast this
see y'all.
one?
All right, Austin Harris, the VOD thing.
All right. Scope,
All right,
do you
who
want
do you want
to?
to cast?
Yeah, do you want to jump in, Scope? So I
Yeah.
can sit out if you want.
I would be more than happy to cast if you're
And
fine
then
with that.
I'll get
Yeah,
Obelisk
gotcha.
in here as well. Obelisk can commentate with you.
Sounds like a plan.
Sit this one out. See you guys later.
is
Overall,
asking us to join.
Yep.
overall, also definitely one of
Ob-
the more interesting games we're seeing out of this
Obelisk?
tournament so far. Definitely.
All right, so who we gonna get in here? Obelisk wants to get in here. He DM'd me, or she. I don't know pronounce. Alright.
Just this is a
Yeah,
they
I
moment.
think
So we know.
I'll ask him to come up. Obelisk can come up.
Wait,
Yeah.
did you call me?
Obelisk can come up.
Yeah,
So
I think I'll ask him to come up. Obelisk.
I think Obelisk would be very
okay, Molly, you have
Yeah,
The
the
stream
stream
audio.
audio.
Okay, Molly, you have Cope and Obelisk. Get Obelisk in here. Can Obelisk actually see his channel?
I don't believe so.
I think we're just gonna have to. Oh, he doesn't even have it. Not gonna lie. I'll invite him up for it. Why not? YOLO. He needs to join a VC. No, that's fine. You know, I don't even care. He's not here. Too bad. Too sad. Where is he at?
Okay, Obelisk just. I'm gonna move Obelisk 1 second.
Yeah, no, Molly will have me and Obelisk most likely, so it should be fine for now. Oh, speaking of Obelisk.
Yeah, Obelisk. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. All right. Well, have you watched your teammates' last game? Actually, did you see the whole stream?
I did. I saw the fortune teller. It
Yeah.
was fortune teller is definitely one of the jokers.
Yeah, no, I will say that is probably the only fortune teller that I've seen used like in the late game of any Balatro tournament ever.
Yeah, fortune teller is just not very good, to be honest.
No, absolutely. I'd say it's probably one of the worst. Maybe not one of the worst. That's maybe a bit harsh, but definitely in the lower end of jokers in most settings. But here, well, Vagabond just had like the one opportunity in which like it pops off like no other.
Yeah, I mean, seeing fortune teller being used is definitely not on my Balatro bingo card.
Absolutely, and Flower Pot as well. It's definitely more used than would be in like a PvE setting. You definitely see it more in PvP, but it's still not quite the popular Joker that stuff like Ancient Joker is, for example.
Flower pot is one of my favorite jokers, so I'm really happy to see it get some use.
I unfortunately do not share that opinion, but I could see why. It is quite the interesting one, I will say. So yeah, once again, casting another Vagabond game, so it'll be interesting to see if he pulls out another quite exotic Joker lineup. Well, it's only a matter of time, really. Who else is who is on the other side of the semifinals? I have not checked. Lava, if you could fill us in.
We have Harris on the other side.
Yeah, more so on like the other semis other than Vagabond Harris.
On the other one, we have 1 second. Let me check. We have KH Miroke. So this is a person who beat Super Hider.
Oh my god, what?
Getting
He's still in
to the finals.
he's still
They
doing
got
it?
to the finals.
Oh my god, what?
Oh, goodness.
Wait.
They got to the finals.
Really? Well, hey, hi dear. At least you got eliminated by a finalist.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll take that. I'll take that.
You can
Yeah,
you can flex it.
See, guys, I'm not bad at the game, I swear.
It'll be interesting to see what who he'll meet on the other side. They're definitely both players in
All right,
their
2
regard.
minutes.
I'm also
2
very
minutes.
interested to
Vagabond
see
Harris.
who-
I can vote.
To see who people vote for, because Harris is a very strong player. He was very strong in the previous patch. I've played him a couple times. he's definitely a very strong player. So I'm very curious to see where people will put their points and bets.
Yeah, definitely an interesting matchup. Harris obviously playing a lot faster than Vagabond. Not that it's very hard to do, to be honest.
Yeah, Vagabond's like Vagabond is so slow.
I mean, we've seen that we've seen it work here quite a bit, juicing that
like,
Vagabond
what
Joker
I
for
was
every
saying.
single drop.
Vagabond's definitely on the
For the
slower
other
side,
guys.
but it definitely lets him
Like-
make just the way better decisions most of the time,
Yeah.
which is why he's like one of the best players in my opinion.
Obviously, he's your teammate, so you got to gas him up a little bit.
Yeah, I have to glaze him.
Exactly.
Vagabond, my favorite Velatro player, the greatest player to ever touch this game.
All right, might be overdoing it a little bit.
Basically, the god of Velatro. Basically.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do we have the POVs
Red deck.
soon? Oh, that's not what I
Red
was
deck,
talking
everything
about.
up.
All right.
Hi, if you're watching the stream, make sure to use your primes. Make sure you use your Twitch primes if you got them. Thanks, guys. Okay. Hope you enjoy the matches. Goodbye.
Make sure to gift every single commentator that's commentated so far a sub.
Exactly. You've heard the you heard the mods creator, guys. Just get those Twitch Prime subs in as well. The guy. Unfortunately, I do not stream much Balatro, so it wouldn't be quite fair to self-promote here. But regardless,
make sure to spend all of your money on this stream. Every
exactly.
last dime.
Put yourself into debt for this stream.
Yes.
No, that's too
optimal.
much.
It's
No,
optimal.
obviously joking around. Please don't go into debt for this. It would be much appreciated.
Harris, hopefully recognizing that the full house doesn't win here with the fours. Yeah, okay.
4s and 5s, wow.
Yeah. Actually, would you mind streaming it in the call so we don't have any delay?
Oh,
wait.
Superheader is.
Oh, never mind. Okay, it was bugging out on my end. Okay, I am on it. My mistake. So yeah, Harris getting that one hand already, but red deck actually, funnily enough, one deck that we have not seen yet, I believe, on this tournament cast.
2/3 for Vagabond here.
Yeah, I mean
on the
on the bets. Not too
Harris,
surprising seeing the
on the
performance we've
bets.
seen last game.
Harris running a. Okay, yeah, they're both going to take Penny Pincher. It is just the better econ joker here. What I'm interested is if Vaga wants to take the Seance or the Crafty Joker for early game scoring.
Well, Seance is not really for early game scoring, is it? It's more so for
Seance,
further deck building.
Seance is more for an Ankh, actually, as I see it.
That's,
like if he finds an Ankh, that
fair,
is
yeah.
a game-winning card.
That is fair. That is fair. But he is going to take the Crafty Joker, aiming for those early flushes here. Penny Pincher going to give quite a bit for Harris with how much Vagabond spent during that last shot, but it's early on. It doesn't really matter as much.
$2. I mean, always take the value gratification. Vagabond opens the pack if he really wants to. That's up to him. I don't think it's a bad decision. I think it's just like a mediocre decision if he opens the pack. Oh, he's really considering whether he wants to take 2 econ jokers.
Granted, yeah, you gotta consider that in PvP, sometimes losing a life early on can really set you back, so he might not want to waste that early money on those double econ joker, but he does choose to do so. Maybe also considering that Crafty Joker, those flushes are not the easiest cards to get. Not the easiest hands to get, but obviously
I think he's more so recognizing because he picked up a scoring joker, it's very easy for him to just win in one. So that makes it. Oh, picking up that Seance would have been so good right now. This is my self-advert for Seance. I think Seance is a great joker.
It is definitely pretty underrated, especially in PvP, but it's definitely a tough one to play around in general. Straight flushes are, especially without discards there, you can't really predict that you're going to get it.
Yeah, he's going to take the I think Harris did the right order, but it's also very unpredictable. It really just depends what builds they're going to go for. I think Harris is going to start going for aces, and Vagabond might just go with the tried and true face cards.
They'll try and do queens. We've seen a lot of queens be built. I do
Yeah.
believe it is better to build for queens instead of kings, simply because you can switch from queens to kings easier in
Oh,
case a baron is picked instead of a.
did Harris find that red seal?
I
The
do
red
not
seal
believe
ace?
so. I do not believe he did, which is
Oh,
really makes quite a bit of difference with that scholar here.
I think that 2-pair does just win on Vaga's end. I want to say, yeah.
Yeah, with the double scholar, it absolutely does.
This delayed gratification is going to be making him loads of money.
Yeah,
Harris is just going to not be able to keep up with this money, so I think Vaga's definitely in the better position here.
well, he already has missed on a pretty big red seal ace, really. So that's already
Yeah.
showing up. Ice
Taking the
cream
ice
being picked
cream.
up.
Also,
Interesting.
delayed gratification was definitely the play because I forgot it was red deck, which means like
Yeah, one more discard, so
yeah.
two more dollars every single every single round, really.
And there's that red seal.
Yeah, that's gonna be
That's
more
gonna
than
be
enough.
that's gonna be beautiful for Vagabond.
For
Red
early
Dragon the next
scoring,
shop on Harris's screen.
that is absolutely massive. If he can get a red seal or not a red seal, if he can get a death or anything on the board here, it could easily clear the first few boss blinds if no X mult is found within those first few blinds here.
Already getting different packs. So Harris is gonna get the ability for a 5-of-a-kind ace, I believe, unless he already had that. I think
Uh,
Vagabond is just going for literally anything.
oh, actually, Harris does have a red seal ace as well. So
He
he
does. Okay.
didn't. Yeah, I just saw it. So both of them have gotten it. So they have, I'd say, the same amount of scoring opportunity. Uh, Vagabond has the opportunity to play like a 3-of-a-kind aces and then play for flushes. That is two options that he has compared to Harris, who only has the scholar, especially with hallucination and ride the bus, not providing him immediate scoring.
Oh, there's Phantom's calculator on Harris's screen. One of the most controversial mods.
The important part is it is legal for this tournament as long as you're on the 2.0 version. Actually, I'm actually don't know what changed about that 2.0 version because I haven't used the mod, frankly. So
Every time you want to calculate your score, it takes a little bit of time away from your timer.
okay, yeah, that does make sense. It just makes it so calculating takes a bit more risk simply because that timer. Granted, it hasn't claimed many victims. The only life loss has been Vagabond himself that previous game, but that's only because he wanted to play as optimally as possible. And speaking of which, he is digging hard for those aces. There it is. There's that red seal
Oh,
ace,
there's
but
that 5-of-a-kind on Harris's side. I mean,
that
Vagabond just cannot compete with that.
he
Waiting for
does get
strength value. Oh,
yeah
he
he
actually
no
is able to
yeah
compete with
yeah
that.
yeah he has a 5 of a kind with that strength here. So I do believe that with the ice cream, he should go over that over Harris's score with all that molds. Should be
Yeah.
barely enough, and it is. He wins by less than 2,000 with that ice cream. So that's first blood for Vagabond with that ice cream. Quite a good start, really, especially considering how similar both of those Joker setups are. Ooh, this could be an interesting
This is
choice.
an
Blackboard.
interesting pack. Yeah, Blackboard is certainly
A Blackboard
it
instead
is
of
a
ice
great Joker. I mean,
Blackboard instead of ice cream or crafty Joker here is definitely,
Crafty. I think personally I would take it over Crafty. You're not going to be
and
getting that many chips. That's what he
that is
does.
what
Yeah.
Vagabond does. Yes. Granted, also it's probably also due to the fact that you can't really, with going for aces right now, you can't really go for as many flushes, whereas you could go full blackboard value even if you go for those aces. So they're more compatible than ice cream, which is more general chips, even if it's obviously won't last much longer after the next boss blind, and even before that, really.
Really interesting decision by Vagabond not to take the moon for the Blackboard proc. I mean, honestly, I think he might have just like forgot. I can't even lie.
It would not be very surprising to me either. But yeah, it is definitely something to consider. Just bringing a any suit change card, obviously World or Moon, into that boss blind here to guarantee that you get that proc.
Oh, Magician on Magician
He's
on Harris's side.
he's debating on that vampire. I've not seen it used a lot in PvP in general, so it could be interesting to see.
It is a very low tier Joker, in my opinion. I mean, he's taking a lot of deliberation. I think this is an easy roll personally, but I also think opening both the Celestial packs is not a poor idea.
He's definitely debating on it. He doesn't have a lot of enhancements on hand already to fuel that vampire, so it'd be quite the money sink.
He does have a purple seal though, which could also help feed the vampire.
Absolutely. It is potentially up to two triggers of the vampire per round, really, if he plays that correctly, or if the game is kind to him in general. But he does choose to roll, gets that magician. Smiley face.
Just not good. I mean, if he wants to, he can take the smiley face. I don't think it was the right decision on Harris's ends.
And he's clearly debating on it, and he does go for it, actually. Hermit right after, thankfully, replenishing a bit of money to keep rolling down here. Planet X, about the same time for both players, actually, even though Vagabond is one blind
I think he should
behind
take
still.
yeah.
Abstract?
The only thing is that he's gonna get a lot of penny pincher value. And I think he knows, he knows that. That's why he stopped. He's gonna try to look. He might use his econ here. He might stack some econ to try to look for his red seal to put the magician on it.
That would be, I'd say that's definitely be the correct play, with Scholar being his main scoring joker so far. There
We
it
have
is.
not seen a single he wasn't the
Actually,
super, but he's
chooses to put them on his queen, actually. Interesting. Probably wants to spread out those. Oh, nice. Okay, well, he does get the money shot, so that's really nice. But probably just wants to spread out the scoring jokers a bit more since he has smiley face and wants to maybe be ready to pivot out towards a traditional face card build, because that's Scholar is good in the moment, but nothing really scales with aces outside of Scholar. Really, you can't retrigger with Hack, not with Stock and Buskin. Any face card joker is not going to trigger, and Bloodstone here. That's an interesting find.
that is an insane joker. He can just choose to sacrifice his life here and sell the blackboard, and then just go all in on the queen build for the sock and potentially a dusk or something.
Chooses to go for both here. That sells the delayed gratification. Interesting. We don't see Vagabond make those sacking econ plays very often.
8-ball is actually an interesting decision here. I think it might be the correct play. Getting those extra planet cards up, or getting those extra tarot cards up would be super helpful for Vagabond. He really wants to look for that purple seal in case it has a sun or in case it has any suit changer. Is just game changing for him, allowing him to get his blackboard up.
Here, any suit changer aside from Star is good because it can either play towards one of the two X-Mulch jokers that he has. So actually, his scoring potential comes from a lot of different directions here. So it'll be interesting what he goes for in this boss blind, in this PvP blind.
Harris having a defensive joker.
Would you say defensive joker is it's a bit weaker than it was last patch, but it's still really good in my opinion. Like a lot of chips.
I would say defensive joker is it's like the same tier as blue joker. It's a really good joker. It's very strong in some situations. It does what it should do. It shouldn't be like the most broken joker in the game, but it should be fairly powerful. Waiting for that blackboard proc. I don't think that 2 bloodstone procs is enough to make the difference here, but maybe I am foolish.
We'll have to
finding 4 of a kind.
We'll have to see. Finding full house.
He's opting for the full house. I don't think the bloodstone is this powerful. Oh, it might be because he's getting things from Scholar, actually.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of mults from the Scholar anyway, and he does make it with the one Bloodstone proc, I believe. Even that's just all the mult from Smiley Face and Scholar just pouring in here, managing to get enough flat mult for that one Bloodstone proc to really make a difference.
$16 from Harris off of that. Oh, and there's a sun card in the shop you can see on Harris' screen. Wait, is Vagabond? I don't think Vagabond's big braining this, but I think he might be waiting for Harris to shop so that he can get money.
that could actually be that's exactly what he's doing. Wow, that's definitely.
Wait, is that? Oh my God, Vagabond's a genius.
That's actually really. That is one thing that I actually a complaint that I have about penny pinchers, that it incentivizes you to play slow, simply because it's does it calcs the if you get, let me try that again. If you get into a shop that your opponent has not yet, you don't get the penny pincher value, so you want to enter after they do. So it's.
Apparently that's not how it works. Okay.
Oh, really? Isn't it?
Okay.
Oh, my mistake then.
Vagabond needs to reroll here, and then he finds the sun, and he finds the sun. Okay. He might actually go for a flush 5 on aces instead of hearts, considering he's up 2 lives.
It would be quite interesting to see it if going flush 5 for aces at least guarantees that he gets every single proc available except for blackboard. Really, is the only thing that he'd be missing out on.
He's gonna get his the reason he might want to go for it is just because he's gonna get his red seal value.
That is one thing you gotta consider. Just any chance to proc more bloodstone is absolutely one you take at this high of a level.
He just has to start playing hands. He's really looking for that red seal to make it lucky. If he doesn't find it, he's just gonna bite the bullet and make 2 lucky. Okay, yeah, he's just doing that right now.
Oh goodness,
Hallucination giving
especially.
Harris more econ. Oh my God, and he's finding a death.
Yeah, that
That
death is
is
huge if he can get that red seal. And
even if he doesn't find that red seal.
Bloodstone found for Harris way later, and he chooses to sell Defensive Joker, maybe?
That
He's
is
debating on it.
super lucky for Harris. But Vagabond does have to. Vagabond is building this up earlier. He's been building for this for longer, and he has a scary face, which I think is a big advantage for Vaga.
Smiley.
That would be nice. Smiley.
No worries, no worries. Wouldn't want to confuse the spectators, but yeah, it is actually. That's a small head start could mean a lot, especially considering that he does have a sun and death going into the next blind here. Magician, you'd want to take all 3 if you're Vagabond, but you can't really do so. Oh, getting another red seal here. He's debating on it, but he does take the wild ace instead. Definitely the correct play, I would say. Speedrun pretty much the anti-Vagabond Joker as far as I'm concerned.
I don't think Harris is finding that speedrun.
He has found it before.
And he didn't take it? That's
No,
surprising. Well, I mean, he doesn't have space for it, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, he did find it, but he did not. He chose to ignore it, which is fair enough. Choosing to maybe get a bit of value out of those lucky cards. As Harris actually copies a lucky ace of hearts, that's big. A Vagabond might do the same right now, actually, now that he's found it. Unless he's saving for... I believe actually he's saving for that red seal.
He's saving
Yeah.
for his red seal. His
Considering
big advantage here is that he has that red seal ace. He can just turn it into hearts at any time he finds it. Preferably, he's gonna find it before the.
Well, Harris has it as...
there it is. There it is.
There it is. Harris has it as well, so it's surprising that he's not digging for it harder, really. He chose to go...
It's not hearts for him. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's not a hard for it. For now, it is for Vagabond. That's...
I mean, that head start is going to be crucial.
That's almost a flush 5 already on the board for Vagabond. That's kind of crazy. And yeah, you can see those Bloodstone procs are really gonna start piling up now. Only 36,000, but that's mainly because you don't get any retriggers for now. The only retrigger that's viable here would probably be Dusk, really. That's the only one I can see being available for
Seltzer
Vagabond.
would be nice.
Oh, Seltzer is also one, you're right.
He's gonna use it on the Lucky Queen, or he might just go for the wheel. Wait, what? Oh, because if he gets a strength.
Yeah, strength for both those double for those Kings of Hearts.
Yeah.
5 of a kind. You might not want that 5 of a kind here. You prefer Asteroid. Depends on how much you want to lean into that flush 5. Debating on both.
I think I would take the Asteroid here. I think it's the better decision. But he's not gonna get the flush. He has a chance for a flush 5. Never mind. He could.
He has that wild ace that's going to be the only thing allowing him to get that flush 5. Really, he needs to get that. Except if he gets a sun right here, in which case he's just better at the game. He doesn't. He gets a tower. Regardless.
Tower is actually not bad because it can help him get the blood. Blackboard proc.
Actually, believe it or not,
Harris?
I lost the game off that tower. Does tower turns off blackboard? A stone card turns off blackboard.
Really, I did not know that.
Yeah, I lost the game off that, so I will remember that interaction for the rest of my life.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so it actually won't help him with blackboard, unfortunately. So pretty much one of the worst tarot cards he could have gotten in the moment.
And some cards suck.
They kind of do. I have not really seen anyone go for stone cards in general in this tournament play, which in tournament play in general, which granted is fair. They're really not very high end builds.
They're okay for some held in hand builds. Yeah, I mean he's just not Vagabond getting super unlucky with his draws here.
Yeah, doesn't get that 5 of a kind.
He does
So
get a
no.
Blackboard proc, which actually might be a game changer.
Yeah. Maybe turning that queen into stone here could be a play to
Oh,
think
that is a
about.
play. He might do it, but it is a queen, which is pretty valuable.
He's waiting for Harris to make that, and he does go for it actually.
I think he wins here.
I'm
I
not
want to
sure.
say
Depends on
with
Bloodstone procs.
his.
It
I want
depends
to
on
say with.
Bloodstone procs.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nope, doesn't win. One more Bloodstone. Actually, not. No, actually, he needed 2 more Bloodstone procs to win that with the double 1.5. So
I mean,
Vagabond's
he's
still pretty behind, really.
conjoined Joker, literally anti Vagabond Joker, but that is so good for Harris.
Yeah.
He's gonna.
And he gets to
He
copy.
might. Oh, Harris getting the. I feel like Vagabond might. I feel like the play here is to copy the Ace of Cryptid or potentially Familiar, considering you have the smiley face. But I just don't think that's ever the right decision to make.
Definitely debating on it. Harris went for the aura on his lucky Ace of Hearts, choosing not to copy it because it wasn't a
Wow.
red seal. Vagabond does choose to copy that though, wanting to be more towards that flush 5 that we've seen him go for the entire time. Vagabond going for conjoined, really.
I mean, he's
We've been
gonna be super stressed and play super fast now. Like he's gonna have to play faster if he wants to keep that. This purple seal giving so much value to Vagabond,
mhm.
even though it's not great, but it is giving him value.
All right, he's aiming for the flush 5 here. Unfortunately, not getting it. Just gonna get uh, a regular 5 of a kind, but that's more than enough to clear those PvP lines. But I will say it is interesting to see both players stick with this scholar here. I would have expected uh, at least someone to try and go for a rotate. Granted, we have not seen stuff like sock and buskin or anything along those lines that would justify such a hard pivot.
By
So
the way,
it is quite interesting to see.
Harris using the new Phantom's calculator.
He wants to see what his high-end score is just before like the next blind here, since it was still fairly close. 1 or 2 more Bloodstone procs for Vagabond definitely would have done it. So,
Both
and
players opting to take seed money here.
ooh, interesting choice of Joker from Harris there, choosing to go for the hand
Yeah.
size.
Oh, loyalty card is Blackboard proc, so he's gonna probably want to keep that. Because Blackboard is the one great advantage I would say that Vagabond has.
It is 3x mult. It is hard to set up, but it is a 3x multi. You can't ignore that. He has a world in
I don't.
consumable slot right now, so that would allow him to easily get that blackboard online for a 5
Yeah.
of a kind.
I mean, Vagabond's 5 of a kind is just super strong right now, getting him 70k in that last one.
Hmm.
Obviously, Vagabond opening up both Arcana packs.
Oh,
Potentially
yes.
just wanting to use the world on 3 random diamonds and then just fooling it. Okay, opting to fool the world. Like, none of these are good jokers. Oh, he's using it to tarot block. Okay, that makes sense. Never mind.
That does make sense. Though, yeah, he's definitely just gonna roll, try and get anything else of value, maybe a death or something. He
He's gonna
chooses to
try to
keep it for
stay
seed money.
over. He's gonna try to stay over. Oh, Vagabond actually calling timer.
Yeah, that
Super
is not something you
surprising.
see every day.
I don't know
Harris,
why I don't know why he's still blocking at this point. Harris is just not playing for his red seals. I think that's a big blunder. Okay, yeah. He realizes that. Oh, Harris getting a $20 proc. I mean, the thing with econ here is that both players getting econ doesn't particularly matter because they're both getting like Like they're
Yeah,
both
they're both
getting
getting
stuff.
money off Penny Pincher.
Oh, Harris is just finding way more money, finding a magician.
Magician,
Yeah, Harris is
magician
gonna
in
use.
magician into hanged man. That's a lot of deck fixing going to next line here.
I mean, Vagabond's getting all the same deck fixing. That's the thing. And Harris is gonna get more money to roll heavier if he wants to.
Hmm.
Oh, I think I'm pretty sure he did that wrong. I can't lie.
Really? Harris, you mean?
Yeah, Harris, like, I think the play for Harris is to get the magician and roll deeper.
I guess that's fair enough. You gotta consider. He doesn't have Blackboard anymore, so he can't really play for those two changes as much as Vagabond does.
Oh,
Get
Vagabond recognizing the fact
Vagabond
that
getting a Vagabond getting a Sun though is a huge if he
oh,
can get
Vagabond getting the sun is insane here. He's gonna be able to roll for that flush 5. Harris is just
there it
not gonna
is,
be able to use conjoined as much.
and he gets a flush 5. He gets Blackboard. He plays right away. That's times 4 as well. That is huge. That is a
Harris is
huge
not
hand
gonna be
coming
able
up
to
from
beat
Vagabond.
this. Like no matter what happens, especially with the red seal, I don't think Harris is gonna be able to beat that
Yeah,
score.
957. Almost a million with aces. How and no retriggers. How often do you see that? That's really rare.
I
But
have actually seen it in a game before. Also, conveniently, I think the first time I've used aces ever was also against Harris. I can't
fair enough.
lie.
Fair enough.
Harris is the ace warrior, I guess.
Okay, so 2 pair being used, and now we'll have to see if that flush 5 is going to be enough for
It does have
Harris here.
more. It does have more card enhancements.
He also, yeah, he has a holographic as well on those aces, but that's nowhere near enough. The conjoined and Blackboard, that was times 12 multi. He had 4 hands, so that's just way too much for
I can only
Vagabond.
imagine. Oh, and yeah, okay, wait, they both get. I didn't know if Harris
No,
had
they
unlocked
do,
the flush 5.
yeah,
Yeah,
both of them like flush 5,
Vagabond
so both get
getting
Harris.
all of that, and he's using the. Okay, yeah, he's using sweaty plays, bro. I swear.
I mean, you kind of have to at this level in the tournament. You're at 1 game away from finals. You might as well go all out.
Yeah.
Choose the play on
I'd say to
Paragon.
just use whatever for Vagabond for both players.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just not
I
really
mean,
much you
Harris is
can do.
getting those extra.
World for Vagabond, just getting those. Ooh, there's the hack that I was talking about earlier. Unfortunately, doesn't proc with the ace. Would have been quite funny if it did. But regardless, yeah, Vagabond just getting that world and getting his Blackboard more likely to get on board here.
I think we can both agree that hack should work on aces.
Actually, I don't quite agree because the whole point of hack as a card is to retrigger like the lowest cards available, and ace is by definition the highest. So by
But
the
it's also by
cards
definition the lowest.
not because it's a hack, like it's not performing well. So I feel like it makes sense for it not to trigger on aces.
Fair
Maybe
enough.
that's just me. Maybe that's just me.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
It would be much easier for us as players if it did. And oh no, Harris losing a life on the PvE blind.
Oh my god. What an anticlimactic way to end the game, but I think Vagabond just played that better, to be honest.
Absolutely, I agree. Selling out of that blackboard for Harris instead of playing towards it and missing a Bloodstone proc loses him the game. That's really anticlimactic, but overall, Vagabond was absolutely taking that next boss blind if there wasn't any hard molt that Harris found that Vagabond somehow missed. Another example of both players playing towards the exact same hand, but playing it in very different ways, and Vagabond just edging out that win and managing to get himself into finals. Do we know who he's going up against? Oh, goodness. So red. I do not have the.
There's a slight issue. The person they're not playing on a fully unlocked profile.
Oh,
They're-
re- really now? Is that allowed?
That's actually a huge issue because if he's playing on the wrong profile, that means every seed was different.
Yeah, because you can't. It doesn't.
So it
doesn't adapt it to the other player, right?
No. So basically, the opponent, right, who was playing against him, they had their deck fully unlocked, while he only had the few specific jokers unlocked. So he's probably had more consistent joker runs because he's been able to just find more jokers because of the smaller pool since he doesn't have everything unlocked.
Yeah, you can't find, like, for example, a satellite or jokers like that that might not fit in a lot of runs.
They're getting DQ'd because of that.
Yeah. So that means
really?
I lost to a cheater? Oh my lord.
You lost to a cheater.
Well, that means that's oh, lava. Maybe
Lava.
clear us up on the situation.
Yeah, so we found that they weren't playing on Unlocked Hall. We can ask Rogue to play on Unlocked Hall, but I kinda just want.
Oh, by the way, Vagabond, great playing. I love the conjoined Joker on your end. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think you could play conjoined.
I know. My chat doubted me too. For the record, I want you to know, I was like, look, I can play fast if I really want to. I can play fast if I really want to. They're like, shut the fuck up. Stop lying.
You did.
I know. But like, no, I was like, look, it's got to be good, right? And I got the full conjoined value. I think Harris just didn't realize I was running it, and
possible. I don't think he was. Yeah, you got like You got time 4 molt out of that.
Harris skipped the speedrun and conjoined, which against you, like,
nuts. Honestly,
yeah,
look,
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, speedrun's a little bit overrated, but
speedrun is not overrated, bro. Speedrun just fails like 2/3 of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It was, dude. I was stressed out because I was like, man, the hack showed up in the shop, and I was like, I can't take hack. Harris might be able to take hack, and if they take hack, I was a little bit scared.
Harris was playing hard for Scholars as much as you were. He just didn't. He sold out a blackboard maybe because he didn't think it'd be consistent enough. But
yeah,
it was
I want to shout out to my purple seal in the deck. My purple seal giving me the most goated tarot cards of all time, giving me that fucking moon card, giving me that
absolutely.
Like the world card to use for blackboard and during the PvP blind. I think it gave me a sun card a couple times. I've never wanted those cards so bad, and it finally gave them to me. It came in clutch. I mean, I would have liked death as well, but I will take what I can get, man.
Yeah, no, purple seal is absolutely popping off for you in this game, but just in general, having a lot more deck fixing that your opponent did, and it really showed with you being able to pretty much use that blackboard every single boss blind, which definitely made a difference. Unfortunate that it had to end in a pretty anticlimactic way with him losing a life to the PvE blind, but it's one of the... you gotta consider that when you're playing this game mode, really. Can't really skimp out of those PvE blinds too much, or they sneak up on you.
For sure. I mean, I lost a life to one of those not that long ago either, so it happens to the best of us, for real. Ah, man. But how long until my finals match?
There's
a bit of a problem with it.
One of the people did not play on an unlock all profile, so they were seeing different seeds.
Yeah, so I lost against a cheater.
Up to super. We can throw this back up to super. Technically. But I'm messaging the latest opponent. Because, well, I'm not going to get through semifinals. We're talking about quarterfinals because semifinals opponent is also iffy because they were streaming into VC to like 7 people.
Oh, so there was coaching potential for this.
So there's coaching potential, but I cannot really prove that. So I just kind of want to stay clear here. So we're going up down to quarterfinals.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is, unfortunately, he played with a profile that wasn't fully unlocked. We'll just give it to the guy he was up against, and it's just an instant DQ.
Hello.
Unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
Hello, virtual.
Yep.
Hello.
Wait, hold on. Let the priestess speak.
I can make some declarations if you guys need.
Oh, please go for it.
Go for it.
Okay, so the person that's in the finals right now didn't have a fully unlocked account, and right?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is cheating explicitly stated in ranked and tournament rules. So
Yep, it's quite simple.
that's
They're just
so
DQ'd.
that one's a pretty straightforward case on for me. The other one, I think is fine, honestly. I mean, like, we don't want to promote people like coaching other people during their games, but like, it's the same thing would happen if somebody's streaming and they're just reading their chat. Like, we're not going to ban that.
Yeah,
So.
that's
Yeah,
I
what
guess
I
that's valid,
figured.
yeah.
Yeah, that actually, look, I'm gonna complain here. I did make one
Like,
play that chat suggested on accident because I turned a card into a stone card that I shouldn't have done. But I lost that PvP blind anyway.
Alright, anyways,
okay?
let's get
I
this
lost
final
that PvP
sorted.
blind.
Let's
Didn't
get the
matter,
final
it didn't
sorted.
matter. Okay, it's the only time.
Yap,
Sorry,
yap,
man.
yap, Vaga yap.
This is
Alright,
the
let's
only
get this
time. No,
sorted.
don't put me in prison. I'm sorry. I'm
Come
sorry.
on, you're getting
And
banned.
server
You're
muted,
getting
server
banned.
deafened, disconnected from the
Yeah.
call.
That's jail. That's jail.
Okay, so
Simplest thing is, we're gonna just have Tone Block come up here. He made
Well,
a purpose in the bracket, didn't he?
I think the idea is we make some more rules. We make some more rules surrounding that for our next tournament. But I think the person who was in VC with other people is allowed and to continue, and the other person was breaking ranked rules, so we're going to disqualify them.
I will not show up them in top 4.
Yeah.
All right, you've heard
Alright.
the man.
Yeah, let God speak.
Good luck.
Oh my god,
Okay.
Enzo's at
And they
home.
left. So Tone Block is they left. They cannot play. So Tone Block is. We'll have to play this one. I think Tone Block will have to play this one because the other person cannot. I think it has to be like this. This is so dumb. I have no idea how did I not notice that.
I mean, or you could, did you have any way of knowing beforehand? Like, it was kind of difficult to see.
No.
Really. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Let's get this sorted out. So it's gonna be Tone Block versus Vagabond. Understood. Let's get this going.
All right. In finals then.
Yeah, in finals.
Since
Let's see.
yeah, with the DQ, with the DQ.
DQ.
Let's see. I'll rotate back in me and Roko
what
for
did
finals.
What did Enzo do?
Enzo,
They also DC'd the game, so they lost at fairway. They lost the semifinals fairway because they DC'd with 1 life left, and their opponent had 3 lives.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Didn't one of this like 2 DCs in this tournament? Because I remember the second game that was cast on, I believe, also was lost to a DC, if I'm not mistaken.
I think one of the games I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, it was 2 hours ago. Wait, well, no, way longer. Was it way longer than that? It was like 3 hours ago.
It's like 12:30. Can we get this done already?
No, I agree. I agree.
yeah.
We've
Alright, so let's just get me and Roko for finals, and then I think that should be it. Just so you guys know, finals is gonna be a game of 1. Right? Game of 1 for this finals. We're trying
Game
something
of 1.
new.
Wish everyone luck and just let Hydeer and Rokol do their job for finals.
Wonderful. Can chat please say thank you very much to Scoped and Obelisk for commentating the last game. Big W for them.
And
always appreciate it.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should thank me, Scoped.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Alright,
Yeah.
yep. Get out, get out.
All right. Have fun, boys. See ya.
Alright. Okay,
Alright,
wonderful.
so we got Vagabond. Let me just Vagabond. Here's your money. Alright.
Alright. Well, of course, there always has to be some shenanigans. I mean, now I feel bad because I lost to it. How did you guys not notice it? How did you not notice it when I was streaming it? That's my question.
Look, if it was ping, if like I don't check the what, I'm like actually not watching the chat.
Wow, POV.
I am not watching it because
This.
because I am watching the freaking billion threads at the same time.
Yeah, honestly, it just sounds like a bit of a skill issue to me.
I cannot control everything.
How about you try doing that?
I'm trying my best. It's just
Alright.
it just doesn't work when it's like I've been doing it for 3 hours. It's been more than
I
3
believe in
hours
you.
at this point.
I believe in you. Alright, I'm just going to
Alright.
get this up working. Where's Roko, my beloved?
Alright.
Get Roko up here.
Roko. Come on, get in here.
Maybe he died. It's okay. I totally understand.
Just like me, for real.
Yeah, he's a corpse, guys. Also, if you guys are new to stream, I should very much tell you this. We host tournaments every weekend. Tomorrow, the NA tournament is going to be online. If you guys do want to still join, I'm pretty sure you can still sign into it. So if you go into the Discord that's in the Twitch or whatever, you can join up the Discord, download the mod, and you can join up for the tournament tomorrow. And if you make it far enough into the bracket, you'll be on stream. So if you guys are interested, make sure you do that. And while you're here, you might as well drop a follow, and maybe if you have a few of those free little, free subs, free Prime subs going around, maybe you should drop one on the channel, because I want to commission some more channel emotes.
Took you long enough. Alright, so.
Sorry about that.
No problemo. Welcome back, Roko, to the land of the living.
I do die every time I get off the stream. I go to hell.
Yeah, whenever he's not on stream, he's just in a constant state of limbo.
Complete
He's never
agony.
released. Something like that.
Anyway, let's get into it. Looks like
Yeah.
we've followed Vagabond all the way.
Oh,
to the finals.
he's made his way up there. He's made it quite far. I'm kind of looking
What a guy.
for where their match is. I can't find the channel. What the hell?
I can't find it either, but you know that's because I can't see it. So
I don't know where it's gone. Ping me in it. Oh, there it is. Wonderful. Right now, I'll be able to put tone block up on the screen, and then I'll just be able to swap you guys over.
yeah.
Boy, I'm just.
Kind of a dark horse tone block coming in all the way up to the top here.
Oh, very much
Ranked
so.
137 on the ranked leaderboard, giving me hope personally because I'm ranked a bit higher.
Well, I'm just saying, I didn't know I went out to, I actually lost earlier due to cheating, unfortunately.
Of course.
You know, it's the only way they can take me out. But it's okay. I understand. I'm not salty.
They knew that you had a higher calling.
They did. They really
stream.
did. I was too good at the game. But yeah, here we go. Let me set it up. You guys should be able to see it now. Here we are. Let me just change the commentators right now for. Are you guys excited? This is the finals, the finale.
Yep, a little bit more bridge than usual since it's best of one this time, yeah?
Yeah, we're just gonna do a best of one game, see how that goes. Usually we do a best of three, but sometimes the stream drags on for a little bit too long, and we're trying to make them a bit more into bite-sized chunks so you guys can actually watch the whole stream, because there is quite a few games.
Brutal on the rule set. It really is brutal that it takes 6 hours to run these. Balatro PvP does just take a lot of your time up, folks. No other way about it. But let's see here. If we can get as dynamic of a game as we had earlier in round 5 for Vagabond here, I'm hoping to see more Vagabond gameplay. And personally, I really enjoyed that game where we had a lot of flat molt and time molt instead of retrigger.
Alright, let's have a look. Are we just like picking decks right now?
I think so. I'm going out on the limb here, folks.
Let me take a little check.
The yellow deck.
Oh, Vagabond yet again offering red, blue, and yellow, so...
I hate this guy. I hate this guy so much. Goddamn, I hate this guy. It's never ending. Never ending torment.
Blue. Alright.
He's on a quest.
Blue.
On a quest to only offer the primary colors. And, you know, it's working. So, blue deck, quite a bit different early game than yellow deck. You don't have that extra interest, but you do get $1 extra than every other deck if you're able to play the first handout and win that first blind with only one hand. So still a higher econ threshold than most decks. Not a higher econ threshold if you're keeping track at home for a deck like Ghost, a deck like Magic. Those decks can get interest from selling their consumable slots. But really, blue deck based pretty heavily on your fundamental play. Vagabond always likes to take his opponents straight to fundamentals and just get
very
down
much so.
to making use of his jokers.
Vagabond, as we've even seen in earlier games, his fundamentals are off the charts, especially when he gets a Vagabond and the deck fixing experience comes into play. It's really a wonder to behold. But blue deck, it's just where you're gonna be able to play the most consistently. All these decks like blue, red, yellow, they're very consistent decks that, you know, if you got good fundamentals, this is where you take people. This is just like the easiest place to get a little bit of a win. Do we have a prediction going?
I don't think we have the prediction poll in chat.
Did I not prediction?
You might not have started it. Very
No,
unfortunate.
no, it's there. It's there.
Oh, it is.
there.
No,
I can't see
it's for some people. People voted.
I see. It already happened.
About 50-50 on this one, actually.
50-50. Wow.
Oh.
A reminder that Vagabond is the current reigning champ of the weekly tournament series. He won the last weekly tournament that we had, yeah? The last NA weekly?
He was in
Or
there.
I suppose this is the EU weekly now,
Yeah,
so
so
he's not the champion of this.
He's about to
But he
become
is-
EU and NA winner.
If he's able to do it, doesn't get that small blind out of the way with one hand only. It looks like Tone Block fell asleep for a second, face on the keyboard. That's or not. The Wi-Fi fell asleep. That's more like it. Romy Shell, first Joker. I don't think you could ask for anything better.
I love early Gros Michelle. Gros Michelle just makes my life so much happier, because if it does pop early, that means you have a way more of a chance of finding Cavendish in the later shops, and I'm totally for that. Cavendish is just a free. Oh, first turn. Gros Michelle pop. Cavendish is going to be coming up in your future. I can read the palms. I can read the Altair
Very
cards.
interesting.
And an orange obelisk. I mean, like, you kind of got to take it if you're a Vagabond here.
Oh my gosh. Early Obelisk. This is an interesting card to play since you don't have any hand type built up yet. Although having it now, knowing that you want to play towards it, could lead to playing it like it could lead to you focusing on one hand type now. So you could go for something that scores low, so you could just rack up numbers quick, or you could go for something like a flush that's easy to play and stack up high numbers for. So, do we have any idea what's going on with Tone Block stream? Because I think it's like pausing sort of every now and then.
I think it's his cheat blocker. Yeah. I think we have a good old issue. It's a
Very
simple fix. He
interesting.
just needs to restart it.
I hope so, because I'd love to get feed on both these plays during the finals. I think Vagabond debating between going for the straight here. Straight's difficult to play. Very difficult to play. You probably don't want to have it as your stackable hand type for Obelisk, but maybe Vagabond's confident in his ability to draw straights consistently so that he can rack them up. You really only need about 10 or 12 played for a hand type to make Obelisk do a lot for you.
Okay, I got the new
This is
link.
the
Should
issue.
be able to fix in a second. Alright.
This is the issue with going for straights. You don't find the hand consistently enough to actually play it. I'm not sure if this Obelisk will be a long-term play for Vagabond. I think we might see him pivoting out sometime soon.
Okay, there we go. We
Let's
should have
go
life back
game.
into the stream.
I think so, yeah.
Tone Block checking out his PC.
Yep. I think he was streaming just the game before, and something was going on with it. But now that he's streaming the whole
thing.
screen one, yeah, the screen one.
Let's just hope he doesn't open up his browser. Let's hope that's
I
closed.
think he's might have a little bit of not too much delay. Okay. A Deja Vu and Talisman from that Spectral pack Did you see what Vagabond took there?
I'm pretty
too
sure you
busy
normally
focusing on Town
always
Block.
take the deja vu here. The gold seal is
Well,
good
depends on what you
now,
draw.
but I mean, like, no matter what you draw, as long as you can throw that red seal onto a hard card, that's a start.
It's true. Playing towards that Bloodstone is always a very solid play to do. Although Talisman is worth some consideration, especially in the early game. It gives you quite a bit of money, but Let's Go Gambling gives you more.
Oh my god, Vagabond absolutely abusing this Let's Go Gambling, getting so much money from it. I mean, this is what you can do with the Let's Go Gambling. You go gambling.
Yep.
Oh, as soon as
as long as you're
Vagabond got
playing
to
your
put his
maximums.
red seal on a king. That is crazy.
Wow. Red Seal, King of Hearts. The Bloodstone has never looked so close in my entire life.
Me, when I'm in bed dreaming about the Bloodstone that's about to appear in the shop,
Absolutely.
I love myself a Bloodstone.
I think everybody here loves Bloodstone. I think Bloodstone has collectively become our favorite card, especially for the commentary desk, because it's just so dynamic. It's got the element of chance, but it's also just so high scoring.
And it's
Will we see
uncommon.
Vagabond? And it is uncommon. That's the big one. It's
That's the
uncommon. You can
kicker.
actually find it. You can actually find it.
It's consistent to build around. I mean, that's what you always want to be building towards these hearts. I know it's pretty simple, but, you know, having more hearts is better than not having hearts.
Vagabond in a little bit of a precarious spot here.
Ooh,
if he didn't find that four of a kind.
Yeah.
Obelisk really not doing anything for him. Really not doing anything for him. He doesn't have any like particular hand type built up already, so Obelisk stocks not really existing. Obelisk takes a very long time to get online. You have to find it mid-run for it to be at max power.
Though, I suppose you could carry on to it, as long as you start being able to, like, kind of have in your mind that you need to be getting Obelisk as big as possible. And then in the later half of the game, you're able to finally take advantage of all the cushion you've built up by playing other hands. So, I think it's okay. Vagabond knows how to use Obelisk, so I'm pretty sure, I'm confident of him holding it into his hands. But Tone Block, I'm not too sure. Maybe he knows more about Obelisk than we think, because Obelisk is a very, very, how would I say it? I'd say it's a fun card. It can be extremely broken at times, but I'd say it's very underground. Not a lot of people pick it up and actually play with it and score very highly with it.
Very difficult to use card. That's how I would characterize Obelisk. It is definitely not for the faint of heart. It requires a lot of dedication. And right now, Vagabond's farming for money. Every high card he plays here is lost potential on the Obelisk to play towards an easy card type. You don't want to stack up your high card on the Obelisk. You don't want to do that, mainly because it'll come back to bite you. If you ever have to play a high card in the middle of your chain, you're going to completely lose any progress you have on the Obelisk. It's okay to rack it up. It is totally fine to go for it, but you have to be incredibly confident that you won't be using it for your scoring. And I would never take that gamble.
Yeah, I wouldn't be wanting to take that either, but picking reserve parking here is a very good economy boost. On top of having Let's Go Gambling, since you're going to be wanting to play down to your last hand anyway, not only are you getting that reserve parking value, but you're also getting a chance to hit a cheeky extra 10. I mean, like, just think about it.
A lot of great synergy. There.
I'm pretty sure you've seen this before. Like, Let's Go Gambling is a really good joker, just for the fact all you got to do is play your hands, and you have a chance of just getting a free $10. I mean, like...
Exactly.
There is a downside.
Especially on a deck like Blue Deck with one extra hand than every other deck in the entire game. That's one more chance to get Let's Go Gambling a proc.
Oh.
Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's 1 in 4 chance to get that $10, that times 4 molt. 1 in 4. You're playing 5 hands around. That's expected value to get it at least once.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to think about it that way. You're like, if you just look at the stats and look at how many hands you have, you're expected to get at least 1 proc every blind, and that potentially more.
Exactly. Sometimes it fails you, just like every other luck-based card in the entire game. Bloodstone's fantastic because it has high potential, but just like Bloodstone, Let's Go Gambling can absolutely crush you. Let's see if we can get a Let's Go Gambling hit on the last played hand for Vagabond here. He draws a 4 of a kind.
Oh, unfortunately, not on the 5 of a kind.
Does not find it.
Let's see, with Tone Block being able to find probably just a regular full house here. Oh,
And
never
Vagabond
mind. He
has
pulled
to
up
play
his
this
Red Seal King. He's gonna play 4 of a
Whoa.
kind as well.
Wow, very similar hand types here. Although Vagabond has a Lucky on that red seal.
And he has an Ice Cream, which is gonna give him just some extra chips. Toneblock, unfortunately enough, just has nothing he can really do about this. Best thing he can do here is
Very
just farm money.
sadly, no proc from that Let's Go Gambling during this boss line. Very sad.
Oh,
Very sad. It might have actually procced and given Tone Block money while we weren't looking. That's something you do have to consider. But like I said, giving your opponent extra money here, I don't think it's really worth considering. It's only $5. The downside is negligible towards the incredible upside for Let's Go Gambling.
I love Terra Tycoon. He'd call me out on this or not, but I love Terra Tycoon. I think being able to find more Terra cards just by rolling gives you way more opportunities of finding those Temperances, the Fool, like even Hermits, right? I just love being able to reroll in the shop, especially if I'm Terra blocking by holding some like Terra cards already in my hand. Like I love Terra Tycoon. I'm a Terra Tycoon lover.
It is the tarot voucher is very interesting in multiplayer because of how powerful those tarot cards are. Finding deaths, finding hermits makes a huge difference between you and your opponent. Vagabond has the level 1 voucher already. Tone Block did not pick it up last ante. You have to consider the fact that we are still very, very early game. If you have the 4 times chance to find a tarot card, like Doc Spectre says, it's you find a tarot card once every 3 shops on average for regular Balatro. With the tarot level 1 voucher, find it once every 2 shops. And then with that 4 times, it's about 1 tarot card every single shop. You're going to be pricing out and not able to find any new jokers. You've got to be really confident in your ability to find a good joker later on through means other than the shop. You got to be really reliant on those buffoon packs, which is a precarious place to be.
Yeah, it's either that or you kind of already have like a decent build going into it, and then you're able to pick up the Tycoon, and then all you have to do is deck fix from there. But both players still only playing with 4 jokers, not maximizing the space they have available. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what they're gonna want to pick up.
Definitely interesting. Not a whole lot of power opportunities so far in this game, and I think that's why both these players are holding on to this obelisk. It's got potential. It's got potential to turn. That's what you got to look for here when you're playing in a high-level multiplayer game. You're looking for the chance of divergence. That's a foil steel 10 of hearts. Any heart card builds towards a bloodstone. Steel cards build towards a mime. Neither player fucking cares, apparently, and they live to prove me wrong.
Why would they care? Why would they care?
Exactly. That's they know better than I do, and that's principally what we see here all the time.
Yeah. You know, since guys, I went favorite M Roku in the tournament because he didn't even participate. That means I'm like just better than him by far.
You know, I think we might have to settle this on stream one day.
I see. It's okay, guys. Roku has a public humiliation thing, but it's okay. I'll let it happen. But
this is a lot of slander. But getting back to the game, Vagabond angling towards that 3 of a kind. I don't know if that wins him this hand. He really does need to play every hand here for the expected value.
Really gets him by. I 100% think that Ice Cream is pulling in so much work right now because it's giving him not only 50 plus chips, but it still a decent amount on it.
Fine. And we see divergence here because Vagabond took that level 1 tarot Tycoon. He's able to find that death in the shop here. His shops are just going to be different every single time than Tone Block now. There's a lot of chance for Tone Block to find a very strong joker that Vagabond just won't see because the chance to find tarot for Vagabond is so much higher than Tone Block. His shop rolls are just completely different. Blue Seal 9 Steel. How do you feel about that?
Ooh, I love a steel card, especially since all you want it to do is stay in your hand. Having a blue seal on it is going to make it do massive work. But at the same time, you kind of want to limit the amount of stuff in your deck because let's say you do find this hypothetical idol. Let's say you do like find this ancient joker. You kind of want your steel cards to not be liabilities. But I do think it would have been a good idea picking it up. I think he skipped past it.
He did skip past it. I think Vagabond still wants to play towards this obelisk because it's the only power joker he has seen so far. Putting a lot of disrespect on Let's Go Gambling right now, but that's fine. I think both players are wary to take cards that crowd out their primary playing cards. And especially when you're angling towards an obelisk, blue seals lose a little bit of value because of the fact that you're spamming a certain card type that won't ever get played again.
Yeah, looking at Tone Block right now, I mean, he's looking decent enough. He's gonna have 2 Red Steel Kings in hand, but the difference between his Red Steel Kings and Vagabond's Red Steel Kings is Vagabond has an unlucky card. And the lucky card is just gonna be doing so much more because it has twice the chance to give him a plus 20 mult. And then once he deaths it, it's gonna be like double that.
I think right now Vagabond absolutely in a stronger place because his obelisk is on in the short term working very hard for him right now. He stacked up that high card up to 10 and he's playing flushes, playing 4 of a kinds here. His obelisk is at 3.4 times molt right here, 3.6 for the next hand type. I think that beats anything Tone Block can do right now. We haven't seen Tone Block scroll over his obelisk to see what scoring it's at, right?
Yeah, this is the one thing about people not having Joker display. We can't tell what the stats are. We have to wait for them to hover over them. But we will see it soon. One thing I'm very, very curious about, Tone Block did not end up using his death for his Red Seal King.
Yeah.
He ended up playing
I think he'll death the Steel 10 of Hearts here. At least somebody cared about it. That's 2.25 times molt for the hand type played. And it does work on that Fibonacci.
I still don't think it's going to be enough, though.
Probably not, especially with the chance for a 5 of a kind. A 5 of a kind. Oh my gosh.
That's pretty big. That's pretty scary.
Yeah. No lucky card hits. Oops.
Oops,
Not
guys,
giving
never
anything, in
mind.
fact, giving 5. So sad. So sad. It could be a chance for Tone Block to take this if but let's go gambling procs, and it's still not enough. Wow.
It's never enough.
Wow, Tone Block taking that despite my confidence against it.
Oh
right?
my god, this is why you pick up Tar Tycoon, because now Vagabond has an overstock voucher, which is just the best voucher in PvP Velotra. I mean, like, it's just the best voucher, because what more do you need then to see one extra Joker Joker Tower card into the shop? Like, that's all it does. It lets you see the future, especially if your opponent doesn't pick it up. And Tone Block cannot see it because he's being only offered the Tower Tycoon voucher now, so he's gonna miss out on it.
This is why you don't want to get behind in the voucher department for PvP. It was a hard choice to take that level 1 Terror Tycoon and level 2 Terror Tycoon, but now that Overstock is here, that's almost completely stopped the downsides for Terror Tycoon. You're going to be able to see just about as many good Jokers as you would regularly, and Tone Block not being able to see it, that's major. That's major.
But don't forget, we're both still on even lives here, 3 lives apiece. This could be very easily changed on these upcoming shops, because right now both of these players have very, how do I say it, bad lineups. Like, we don't even really have a general idea here. Tone Block kind of going for more of a Fibonacci little pair action with lots of discards from the Mary Andy. Hopefully trying to just like fin down for his deck to find this ideal hand. But I'm looking at it and begin to think, Tone Block, what are you doing? He's gonna convert all his heart cards to spade cards. And he's gonna just go in for spade flushes, maybe.
This is one time where Let's Go Gambling has really, really popped off in the direction that, like, it's popped off in the opposite direction of the way it usually goes. It's procced the $5 extra charge for Tone Block multiple times. I think it's done it 3 times total this entire game. Vagabond's seen, I think, at least 3 $10 procs, which is still better expected value. He still has the lead on money just because of that Let's Go Gambling, but we're seeing a little bit of bad luck for Vagabond here. But like you were saying, both players kind of with eclectic Joker hands. I don't think I would say that either of their obelisks are super strong right now. I'd say Vagabond's has the potential to go a little bit further because he's playing those 5 of a kinds, those flush 5s. But his max potential is still only 10 hands played. It's also getting kind of dangerous to not play the high cards.
Yeah, and so I suppose that's why he's picking up Bean, just to make sure he can really find something in these shops, because these shops have been dry. And it's not like Vagabond or Tone Block have been completely broke either. They've been able to search pretty deep into these shops. And usually the real jokers that are really powerful that we normally see winning games like Bloodstone, like Ancient, like Idol, we just haven't seen any of them. And, I'm okay with that. Sometimes you need to kind of learn how to play when you're not able to get the best pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. You gotta play with what you're given.
Yep, you want to see. Sometimes, not every game is going to be an absolute knockout like the previous Vagabond games that we've been spectating. All right, not every game has that high powered card just at the very beginning to build for. Sometimes you have to dig and dig and dig, and it's games like those that really decide who is a better player. All right, that's where skill expression happens the most often. I'd say.
Yeah, no, and I'd say you're totally right about that because I'm looking at these two players right now. I see the main difference between Tone Block and Vagabond is look at Vagabond's hand. Like, he's able to farm money with this reserve parking, while Tone Block really has no income. He has zero income. So, no matter what happens in the future, Vagabond's going to be able to go down deeper in the shop after getting a $20 hit. He's going to be able to go a little bit farther.
Very nice. Lucky procs. Lucky card. That lucky Red Seal King has made a pretty big difference. He's got, I think, 2 to 3 copies of it right now in his deck. Ooh, Ectoplasm from the speed run for Tone Block. That could be interesting. Could be a difference maker if he holds on to it. Next shop, we could see both of these players picking up a powerful Joker. If Tone Block has that Ectoplasm and Vagabond doesn't, that's just another potential good Joker slot for him. Ooh,
Cartomancer is crazy. Cartomancer is going to give him a tarot card every single time he enters a blind.
And Vagabond able to play really heavy.
Ooh!
Really heavy. Wow, death.
This
is the power of that early Terror Tycoon. And now with the Cartomancer too, he has to sell one of these to get value out of it. But I think he wants to keep the strength so he can level up these queens.
Of course, and you know what we're going to see? We're going to see that Red Seal King get deft again. And now I'm looking at Tone Block, and I'm still saying we still only have the one, right? We need to get more of those Red Steel Kings on Tone Block. But unfortunately enough, because I didn't pick up Terror Tycoon earlier, I'm kind of struggling. My hand isn't really good. I haven't deck fixed much. I'm kind of wishing that maybe I didn't use. I don't know why. Is it just me, or does Tone Block only have 7 hand size? So if he were to use that Ectoplasm, it'd bring him down to 6, which is a really crazy nerf, considering Vagabond with this Turtle Bean is 12, which is giving him tons of room to be able to make a lot of kings.
And that's something you have to be concerned about for the Obelisk as well. Smaller hand size means that you're more likely going to be forced to play your invested in hand and eliminate your Obelisk stack. I think Vagabond's Obelisk stack right now is like an entire number like +1 higher than Tone Block's right now. I think Vagabond's at somewhere in the 4 times multiplier. Tone Block's sitting at 3.4, 3.2. So large differential between these two players on the Obelisk front.
No, for real, I'm looking over here, and I think Vagabond definitely has this.
Oh yeah.
I'm liking the look at Tone Block right now, but I feel like, what exactly is the build? What are we going for?
There's very little direction. I think both of these players, this seed certainly would have most players struggle for direction. I think in this case, Vagabond has done a really good job of giving himself a lot of outs. He's built towards decent answers, not incredible ones, but decent answers, and that's what you want. He was hoping to get a flush there so that he could level up the Obelisk one more time before playing the flush 5.
Yeah,
Never
seriously.
played a flush 5 before. He's played a 5 of a kind. So flush 5 has the maximum potential to build up to that 10 high card that he has played for his Obelisk stack.
Oh, very much so. I think we're just going to let it keep going, though. We're going to keep farming on it for a good reason. And that reason is we might as well. Like,
yeah.
Why not? Why not let your Obelisk... Why not min-max the Obelisk? If anything, you're losing out if you don't. But it's because it's hard to min-max that, people don't want to do it.
Let's Go Gambling has really refused to help a Vagabond on these boss blinds, continually giving Tone Block $5 every time we go into this boss blind. That might be a trend.
Very true. Tone Block doesn't even need any economy because he's just getting fed scraps by Vagabond.
But he certainly needs economy. Vagabond still he has 2 econ jokers with. Oh wait, no, he got rid of the reserve parking.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
why.
I think maybe I would have kept reserve parking instead of let's go gambling. I'm gonna be honest. Considering we have Turtle Bean in hand, we would have been able to farm a little bit more.
I think in this situation, since you got the 4 times tarot card voucher, I'm not sure how much Cartomancer does for you. Since even going into this PvP blind, you didn't get value out of the Cartomancer because we
No.
carried in a strength and a death. You're able to find whichever tarot cards you want. So it's a more compelling choice to keep the reserved parking, I think, especially with that turtle beam, like you said.
Oh, 100%. I would have been doing that. But
Oh my
Tone Block,
gosh.
100k
Oh my
behind.
gosh.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Gulp.
This
That
is
is Overstock Plus. That means we are going to be
yes.
seeing 4 slots into the shop, which means we're not only are we going to see more tarot cards, we're going to see more jokers, we're going to see the whole shebang. We're about to be giving that observation hockey and see into the future.
This is why you don't want to get behind on the voucher game. It is difficult to keep up with vouchers in the early game. It really is. But if you're able to find econ early, like Vagabond was with that reserve parking, like he was with that Let's Go Gambling, you can actually afford those cards. And to be fair, choosing to take the early tarot merchant hampers your selection for finding jokers in the short term. With long term, it opens up possibilities like this. He is getting a little bit lucky, we have to be honest with you, but it's very powerful luck.
Oh, no, seriously, because both these players are in the exact same seed, and you can see how just a small, minute differences in their playstyles have led up to Vagabond having an almost endless stream of tarot cards, considering not only does he have purple seals in his deck, he also has Tire Tycoon and a good economy to be able to roll down every shop. So it's working out pretty well for him. Toneblock on the other hand really just kind of lacking, not being able to find much because he only has 2 items on the shop.
Exactly. Really, just no direction, no clear direction for Tone Block. Vagabond knows what he's building towards. He's just focused on getting enough of those lucky King of Hearts with the red seal. That's what he's building towards. He knows that. Tone Block he's got a red seal king, but not nearly as many copies as Vagabond. He's not able to play as many high-powered hands as Vagabond will. Eventually, we'll see that Vagabond can play 2 5 of a kinds, 2 flush 5s every round at this rate.
No, 100% agree, because Toneblock, he's had that Red Seal King since the very beginning of the game, and he still only has the 1. And we haven't really been doing much with our deck. We still have 52 cards. Mary Andy is probably going to go. We need that extra hand size. We're probably just going to take the singular discard that the Drunkard gives us.
Exactly. Not being able to see a whole lot of your deck is really hurting you.
I mean, I'm kind of scared if I'm Toneblock here. You're like looking at your jokers and you know this isn't good enough.
And your econs in it.
Oh,
deja vu from the speedrun though. That could be interesting. Although,
but I don't think it's interesting enough. I don't think it's interesting enough. I think that's an amazing pull to get. But
wow, $20 lucky card hit for Vagabond has $52 going into this next shop. He's going to be able to see so many more jokers than Toneblock could. Let's see if he draws something interesting here.
And we're seeing a lot of tarot cards because he did pick up Tarot Tycoon, but you know, I won't be mad about that. More tarot cards is better if I do say so. If we find another death, that's all we need to do. We have the Fool in hand. We'll just pick that up and then we'll start just rolling down the shop. And if we find a death, it's game over.
Exactly. I'm still not sure about the Cartomancer here because we're able to find
we didn't pick up the Fool?
tarot.
Why would we not pick up Fool here?
Because he sees so many, I think he wants. I don't know why you don't pick up the Fool because it eliminates a slot for another tarot card. Looks like we're gambling on the Judgment here. Mystic Summit, not what you want to see. You want power. Picking up the Fool would have allowed him to have a level 4 flush 5 instead of a level 3 here. Would have allowed him to have
there's the death that we would have loved to see if we picked up the Fool earlier. We could have been going into that blind with a nice another 2 Red Seal Kings. But, you know, peek of a Chariot and a Death, it's not bad. It's not bad whatsoever. I'm never going to complain about that.
Yet another round played where Cartomancer literally does nothing for us. I'm starting to think we got to get rid of the Cartomancer. Just
What
because
is
the
Vagabond's
amount of
obelisk
terras. I think it's at like 5 times something here. It is much higher than Tone Block. He started scaling it a lot sooner than Tone Block did.
Do you think that's gonna come to
we
bite
should
Tone
really-
Block back? Because now, I mean, he put the red seal on his 10.
That is a steel card. So every steel card you put a red seal on effectively becomes 2.25 times instead of 1.5. That is quite a bit, but it's definitely not enough to match Vagabond's Freak right now.
Oh no, his Freak is off the charts. And like I'm looking at the score right now, and I see just 2 red seal Lucky Card Kings ready to go at it.
I don't know what hand type Tone Block invested in early. Tone Block's Obelisk is at 4.8 times. Vagabond's is at what? It's 6.8. It's a whole 2 times difference.
Gulp.
Not 2 times. It's a whole +2.
It's quite a bit. It's a little bit higher.
A little bit insurmountable, some would say. Vagabond just has to not play high cards, and since he had so much hand size earlier, it was easy for him to maneuver around there. Obelisk has done just enough. Everyone in the chat who was saying keep the Obelisk, you were right. You play towards it in the long game. This is the deciding factor right now, since it's been such a low power game so far.
Yeah, no, this Obelisk has actually been a very, very strong point that this whole game has kind of revolved around. Because just the fact that Obelisk is good when there's nothing else. I mean, it's a really good card, and now we're finally getting to see it shine.
Yep. Tone Block on his last life now has to find the difference maker. Palette, not what you want to see, especially with no supporting cards. Hand size is useful to draw the hands that you need to see, but without any clear direction, what's the point?
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's a bit too late to pivot into something. We need to find like an actual crazy amount of jokers here, and considering we're also lacking economy, we still don't have any economy jokers. How is Tone Block expected to find more jokers to roll deep into the shop? Don't forget, he is carrying like the Tire Merchant on him, so he's not going to see jokers as much now.
A card that could maybe help out Tone Block, Shoot the Moon in Vagabond's shop. Tone Block could have a chance to see that. Jokers aren't super affected by the Terror Tycoon, but it's too late to pivot towards that, I think, even.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Way too many options for tarot cards. Just a completely flush deck of tarot cards. It's been tarot Saturday for Vagabond today. First that Vagabond game, and now this with the Tarot Tycoon plus the Cartomancer. He's got a choice for whatever deck building he wants to do.
No, seriously, he's just being given so much freedom right now. It's not even funny. Like, what are you meant to do? I mean, like, even though the Jokers are horrible, the deck is way better.
Exactly. That's just it. That's exactly what it is, and this is why Vagabond takes people to Pound Town in blue, red, and yellow deck, because it's so fundamentals based. You just get ahead based on your ability to build your deck up with this tarot.
Let's have a little look here. I mean, I don't see a way that Tone Block is going to be able to beat this in the next PvP blind. Let's see what Vagabond can score with these Flush 5. Yeah, 250k.
It'll have to be...
Oh, Tone Block was cross to Shoot the Moon.
Ooh, that could be... I think he's really thinking about it. He knows that he needs that sort of direction, but he's going to need to make a lot. A lot of queens here. He's going to have to find deaths. He's going to have to maybe find a cryptid in some spectral pack somewhere. His queens aren't a whole lot above baseline here to make that Shoot the Moon work, and it might just be too late anyway, with the Obelisk scaling being much higher and there we see some power finally from Vagabond deep into the shop. He finds a photograph.
That photograph
There's
is
the power.
clutch.
There it is.
And now all we gotta do is find some re-triggers.
Well, he's already got re-triggers from that red seal, yeah?
Oh, yeah, you were cooking. Now we're cooking.
He's already got the ×4 multiplier from that photograph, and it's incredibly unlikely that Tone Block will see it that deep into the shop. It's a possibility, don't get me wrong, but we're going to need some very, very, very big luck
Yeah, no, 100% for Tone Block right now. I'm thinking to myself, Jesus, I'm stressed out. Like, he can't even use his Empress properly. Like, the nerves are 100% getting to him, and I totally get that. You're in the finals, and you got into the finals in such a weird way. Your opponent just didn't show up, and so you were basically just, you skipped the semis, and now you're in the finals, and you don't feel like you deserved it yet, and I kind of get that. But this is the time when you kind of have to lock in and really just pull yourself together and get back down the fundamentals. But Vagabond, he's used to the pressure. He's used to making it far in tournaments. He's used to being like an avid gamer. I mean, I was gonna say no life sweat, but
What?
what? Yeah, but Vagabond
was a
also
real
fighting a
life
death. He found another death here, so
It's
you
true.
know, so he's gonna make another
With
Red Seal
a-
King.
With a Red Seal King in hand. That's the important part. Toneblock got that death too from a purple seal. Didn't opt to make a copy of a queen. It's still splitting his direction, even this late into the game, splitting his
Yeah.
direction between one option and the other. He's holding it. I'm not sure what you're holding it for. You need more queens here for that shoot the moon if that's your angle. You need to find the mime. We know that the mime's probably not coming because of how far Vagabond went in the shop. So it looks like it's curtains.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling the exact same way. Just looking into this next shop, Vagabond found another death with an Emperor. If there's a fool in here, you can really consider it over.
And here's some macro play. Holding the Emperor and the Death going into this Arcana pack, you might think, why are you holding a Death? If you leave it on the shop counter, it still can't appear in the Arcana anyway. Holding the Emperor mid-pack, you could open the Emperor into another Death.
I think
I'm
that's what
hoping
he's
he'll
going to
demonstrate
try
my
here. I
point
think Vagabond's going to try to open up the Emperor and see what's inside of it.
It's a very good macro play. You want to hold something like an Emperor during this so that you can generate even more tarot cards. Doesn't get the Death, doesn't get a Fool. Very sad to see.
But Temperance, it's still free money. It's still free money. We take it.
Exactly. There's a bit
Another
of lag on the
one of the
streams,
biggest vouchers I think there is that is very underrated is Crystal Ball. Crystal Ball is a crazy voucher, right? It lets you mess around with these tarot cards so much easier. It lets your Emperor basically pop off like this. So you can store one tarot card you really want to keep, pop your Emperor, and then CD over two, and then you can kind of like pick and mix, you know? You can actually have a selection of which jokers you want to bring in. Like Tone Block here, he is deaf and a fool. But if this is Vagabond, he would have been able to bring a Bloodstone! A Bloodstone! Oh,
we find it. Square Joker goes away, and we're at our max power.
Oh
this
my
is the max power you
god!
asked for.
Ain't no way, and that's why you always build towards Bloodstone, guys. I mean, you will get rewarded.
It shows up when you
duper
need
rewarded.
it the most. I think it's pretty clear to say that there's no way that Tone Block can overcome this.
Unfortunately,
His obelisk
not.
isn't nearly, and the speedrun doesn't even proc because he's got a full consumables list, like you were talking about. A lot of people sleep on the Crystal Ball, but Crystal Ball allowing you to have just more consumable slots means you can bring more tarot cards into Arcana packs to stop them from appearing. Means that you can just hold on to more tarot cards going into a blind, so you can actually get the synergy from Hangman, Fool, and a Death at the same time.
Oh, very much so.
Now
Even
we're seeing the
Vagabond going in
culmination.
here. Like, he's already got a hand basically full of Red Suit King. This is enough to win. Like, that hand.
He can play this
is
and
enough
play
to win.
another one. I think he's just looking for another Death to copy these red seals, these red retrigger seals.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Yeah, he doesn't even need. I think if he just lets it rip, it just goes hard.
No,
he's
seriously.
debating making a Steel King, a Red Seal Steel King. That's about a 2 times modifier. I think it's just worth it to play the Red Seal King for the Bloodstone, though.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's what you got to do here. Oh my god, he's gonna steal it up. He's gonna make 2 of them steal, is he?
See, this is not 2 of the Kings, because I think he still needs to have a high enough power for Bloodstone. But Vagabond understands the Steel card with a Red Seal is 2.25 times molt consistently.
Oh, you got the 4x! We hit the 4x off the jackpot!
Wow, 55 million is the score to beat.
massive.
I don't think Tone Block can match that in any world.
Oh my god, Tone Block is actually cooked. He's cooked beyond repair.
There's no mime for these steel Red Seal cards to re-trigger, so I don't think this is going to be anywhere close enough to matching that hand from Vagabond.
Yeah, unfortunately enough,
Vagabond knows
it's
it.
just struggling. We're just struggling. And unfortunately, you know, when your opponent is able to find Photograph and Bloodstone in a dry seed, you know, there's just the fundamentals. Vagabond knew what he was doing. He took him down to Pound Town.
He got there sooner. He got online much quicker, and that's not even a bad score from Tone Block. Four steel cards, 2 red seals on those steel cards. That's quite good. That's quite good scoring. If he had any queens in hand, it would be even better because the Shoot the Moon would proc before the steel cards and get multiplied. It's just all about the timing. Vagabond was able to get his hand in accordance before he found those jokers, and then he was able to have enough eco to actually dig to find them. That makes Vagabond your winner for this week's EU tournament.
Whoa, what a game. What a game. Vagabond really popping off there. I feel what the issue was, Toneblock just unable to find any sort of specific build in mind and never really being able to just kind of focus in on a specific build. It seemed like the issue really was not having too many options, not being able to decide on one. It's like when a kid in like a candy shop and they're like, I want this bar, I want that bar, and they throw it onto the cart and they don't have enough money for it, and then they end up being forced to work like child labor for the store. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, like I think that's the best thing I could ever describe it as. Let's see if we can get Vagabond up here. I mean, he won the whole entire thing. Might as well see what he has to say. Vagabond, how does it feel?
Bro, it feels fucking fire, dude. 2-time tournament winner, man.
Yep.
I can say
And
that now.
Yeah, nobody can question that you've got the chops to do it because you've proved it on good seeds, on mid seeds, and bad seeds now, really. This seed was kind of a stinker, but you were able to distinguish yourself early by taking more vouchers than he was and just having better econ play. That's really what it was. He didn't see any of those overstocks that you saw. Like none of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Got you. No, I mean, dude, I'm just so happy I won with a massive fucking obelisk, bro. And also, dude, can we talk about how I had to fight Owen in round 1? Round 1, I had to fight Owen.
Right.
Then I had to fight Cass, I had to fight Harris. Like, the finals might not have been against a very well-known player, but I had to fight fucking stacked players to get here.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Don't worry, Vagabond.
Each of those
I took
was...
Jake out of the bracket for you.
Unironically, though.
No, Jake game was amazing.
So,
actually amazing.
So at Super Rider, I'm getting that raid, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only fair. It's only fair. But guys, I want to say thank you. Before you leave the stream, we're going to do a little raid over to Vagabond. I feel like it's only necessary. Because he won, we might as well go pay him a visit. But first, if you guys are new and this is the first time you're tuning in for one of these streams, make sure you drop the follow button right now. And if you want to like drop a little Prime sub or something like that, now's your chance. Go for it. I'm not going to say no. But thank you guys. This has been really, really good. If you guys are interested in joining the next tournament, we are hosting the NA tournament tomorrow. So join up the Discord, get all the stuff set up, and basically you could potentially win. Pretty good. Sounds pretty good to me. Does it sound pretty good to you? Have we paid out the prediction?
It sounds great to me.
Pay out 1 second. Let me pay out the prediction.
Wonderful.
Oh gosh. Prediction. Choose outcome Vagabond. Complete prediction. There we go.
Ooh,
All right,
stuff.
so
Right.
raid Vagabond. See if we can do things. Or can you?
Nope, can't do it. Our account's too young. We'll do it in a bit. All right, bye guys.
All right,
Thank you
let me
for